We welcome you to Minute Maid Park for the middle game of a three-game series, game two of a six-game homestand. The Houston Astros, 78 games into the season, have won exactly two-thirds of their contest, taking on the Oakland A's, who were victorious last night by the final score of 6-4. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another night of Astros baseball. Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. Blummer, when you look at this Astros season, there haven't been too many losses, but when they had a tough loss like last night, they've been able to come back pretty strong.
Yeah, and I think that's why they've been so successful at winning series also. They've been very resilient, not too many valleys during the season so far.
You talk about revenge ABs, and Josh Reddick was very happy to get back to Oakland for the first time. He has played very well this year against the A's.
Yeah, he's been a huge addition to this ball club, and I wonder if playing for the Oakland A's and coming back to Minute Maid is going to help him be the shiner, light blonde spotlight player for us as you look at some of the highlights against his former team. I call them revenge ABs all the time. It was kind of interesting. Josh Reddick was a free agent, comes over here, signs that 4-year deal, but he's mixed in nicely, endeared himself by hitting .327 here at Minute Maid Park in front of these fans. We saw that he means a lot to those fans out there in Oakland, but now turning these Houston fans into his own fans. But he's driving the ball out of the ballpark, 8 home runs out of that 2-hole, mixing in nicely between George Springer and Jose Altuve. And obviously what he's done against the Oakland A's, his old team, it's pretty nice too.
A run scored per game so far in the 8 games against his former team. The Astros have played 10 overall, and they are 8-2 against the A's. We will have plenty more coming up from Minute Maid Park as the Astros get ready to take on the Oakland A's with David Paulino on the mound tonight for Houston. Sports is presented by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. George Springer making a bid for his first All-Star Game appearance. More on his offense and defensive skills with Julia Morales when we come back.
of this series between the A's and the Astros. Astros looking to bounce right back. Fans making their way to watch their favorite team. They're also getting to see some of the best players in the league. Speaking of all-stars, you can still vote for those until tomorrow. George Springer ranked third in American League outfielders right now. In case you're wondering what an all-star looks like, here's our Toyota time to play. We're looking at George Springer's game last night. He's what he's been doing all season. You saw the diving catch for him there. Offensively, his approach has been good at the plate. He's been driving in runs. The swing's been under control. But he's also sending it out of the ballpark a lot this year as well. 23 home runs. He had his 23rd last night in the 9th inning to help his team rally back. They fell short. But what a big moment for George Springer. It's what he's been doing all season, as I mentioned. 23 homers already. That's in 72 games. Imagine where he's going from there. I mentioned the All-Star voting. I mentioned George Springer looks like an All-Star. Well, he's third in American League outfielders there with 1.6. That was the latest update on the voting results. But you have until tomorrow. I want you to look closely. Michael Brantley of the Indians, not too far behind. So fans, this is a good time to make one final push for George so he can make his first appearance in a Midsummer Classic. It would mean the world to him. It would mean the world to his teammates like Jose Altuve, who's been pushing for some of his teammates to join him in the All-Star Game. Such a special event, and obviously great to represent the Houston Astros organization. Guys?
You're right about that, Julia. As you see Springer and Altuve there, George continues to play outstanding, not only leading off and hitting home runs, Plummer, but to have the ability to shift between center field and right field and continue to make great plays wherever he plays in the outfield.
No, he's pretty amazing. We already know that he's a phenomenal talent. We get spoiled watching him on a daily basis. We just want everybody nationally to understand how good George Springer is. And I actually think he's played himself into that starting role with the addition of Mike Trout being subtracted from that situation as far as votes are concerned. Yes, he's going to get a lot because he's Mike Trout, nationally known. Very good ball player, but at the same time, he's hurt. He's going to be on the DL, so that opens up that spot. And actually, for me, clears the way to make George Springer that opening or that starting center fielder in his opening appearance for the Houston Astros in an All-Star game. I think that would be an incredible thing to happen to him.
The two leaders in home runs in the American League would be the other two outfielders, aside from Trout, George Springer and Aaron Judge, who's the leading vote getter right now in the AL, just like Altuve is at second base and Carlos Correa is at shortstop. David Paulino on the mound tonight for the Houston Astros. He'll be making his 6th start of the season, and here's the lineup he will face for the Oakland A's. Bob Melvin will send Matt Joyce back out there, the exact same lineup as last night. Matt Olson bats second. Jed Lowry is the second baseman. Chris Davis the DH. Yonder Alonso at first base. Ryan Healy, the big grand slam in last night's game. Bruce Maxwell is behind the plate. Franklin Barreto is the shortstop, and Jacob Brugman is in center field.
Right-hander David Paulino going for your Houston Astros, filling in that rotation spot, doing a pretty good job at it. 5 starts this season. You see the record at 2-0. Doing a good job. He is 6'7". Watch his release point well above that head of his, staying on a great downhill plane. It's tough for hitters to pick up and try and get their bat on the same level as that fastball he has. Throws a slider, changeup, and the occasional curveball. Velocity right around 92.5 miles an hour. He will do a very good job of throwing strikes, and that's a good sign for A.J. Hinch when he is.
Seemed like last year he was almost all fastball, curveball. This year he's mixing in the slider, he's mixing in the changeup. He's becoming more of a complete pitcher with a chance to stay in the rotation for a few turns.
I always think it's interesting, too, with some of these young pitchers and having been able to call some games with Brent Strom being the pitching coach for the Houston Astros, is these guys do a very good job in developing talent, being talented, number one, but developing that talent. But once they get here, Brent Strom tweaks them just a little bit and really has been one of the pitching coaches for me that really predicates a lot of their pitchers throwing sliders as opposed to the breaking ball.
Matt Joyce will lead things off for the A's. The A's winning last night for just the 2nd time this year in 10 tries against the Astros. Oakland on the season is 7 games below 500. They are 33-34 against the rest of baseball, and they are 2-8 against the Houston Astros with that 6-4 win last night. Paulino realizes, like everybody else in that rotation, that at some point Charlie Morton will be back at some point. Dallas Keuchel will be back. Colin McHugh as well. So he is pitching for his turn in the rotation to stay in there. Morton probably the closest of those aforementioned starters to coming back, as he had another rehab assignment appearance last night for Fresno. First pitch was fouled back to Joyce. We are underway on a Wednesday night, middle game of a 3-game series. Glad he could join us. Todd Callis, Jeff Blum, Julia Morales. Astros and A's for the 2nd time in this series, and for the 6th time in the last week and a half. 4 games in Oakland were swept by the Astros Monday through Thursday of last week. Fastball misses high to Joyce. It's 2-1. It is the exact same pitching matchup that we saw wrap up that series, and that was a big day for the Houston Astros, offensively especially.
It didn't get off to the start where you would assume something like that would happen, because George Springer got hit in that hand early on, so there was a little bit of panic that immediately started that ball game. But after that, it was just an absolute onslaught against Jesse Hahn.
Hahn lasted just 2 innings. Polino pitched 5 1/3 innings. And David misses with a fastball. It's now 3-2 to Joyce. Joyce has done a good job in the month of June. His on-base percentage is in the top 10 this month, .419. That is a called 3rd strike. Joyce is ready to take off the shin guard, but that looked like it had a lot of plate. Paulino strikes out Matt Joyce to start the game.
Joyce was looking on that outer third. He got painted on the inside. You'll see it on our MD Anderson strike zone. Down and in. Hit the glove, get the call.
Paulino struck out 6 A's last time he faced them. So always a challenge for any pitcher to face a team back-to-back starts, but especially for a guy who has not made many starts in his career, making just his 7th career start, his 6th this season. Because you had success, 5 1/3 innings, and again he was working with a big lead. He was just trying to throw strikes. You had some success against Oakland. You don't want to necessarily go away from that and think, well, they're going to adjust to me. You still have to pitch the game that you want to pitch.
They had a little bit of a luxury when he actually punched out that last game. He punched out Matt Joyce looking on a curveball. So a good start to this game if he's going to repeat. But he has faced Matt Olson. There was a couple of changes to that roster, but he also faced Bruce Maxwell and Brugman out there in center field, who are a couple of new kids on the block for the Oakland A's. But yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You got to wait for that opposing team to make the adjustment to you before you make that adjustment, I guess.
Called 3rd strike. He froze him with a breaking ball and a beauty. 2 strikeouts to start the game for Paulino.
Big curveball from the big right-hander. How about you grab that outside corner? Not his best breaking ball, but enough to get Olson to take it looking.
You mentioned that release point. His release point is the highest in the major leagues, according to StatCast. Just shy of 7 feet by the time he releases the baseball.
It's amazing. Here's a good look at that release on our Mattress Firm Supermo. That's that curveball. You see him getting the fingers on top and pulling straight down to create that 12-6 break. But that is a big frame unloading.
Lowry sends one high in the air into right center field. Reddick calls off Springer, and David Paulino with a 1-2-3 top half of the 1st inning. Astros 2-up. Top half against Oakland, and here's the lineup that A.J. Hinch will send out, brought to you by Southwest. Your starting lineups begin with George Springer, home run number 23 in the ninth inning of last night's game, followed by the former A. Josh Reddick, Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa. Brian McCann, another start behind the plate. Carlos Beltran back in there. Marwin Gonzalez plays third tonight. Yuli Gurriel at first, and Norichika Aoki in left field.
Right-hander Jesse Hahn going for the Oakland Athletics. Not a very good outing last time he was out there. Last time he took that mound against these Houston Astros at home in Oakland, he walked up with a 3.56 ERA. He left that ball game with a 4.66 ERA that you see on your screen now.
Hahn making his 5th start since being reinstated from the disabled list on June 6th. And he starts Springer with a pitch inside, but off the plate.
Yeah, it was a pitch inside that started that game last Thursday also. It sent a lot of Houston Astros fans into a panic when George Springer hit on the back of that hand. He was looking for payback with that swing.
Down to a knee on that foul ball. Well, it was a scary moment because it looked like it caught him on the shoulder and the hand.
Well, he might have been lucky that it did catch that shoulder before catching the hand, maybe slow it down just a hair. I think that swing told you that George remembers that AB.
and you know what? Jesse Hahn remembered that AB because it kind of impacted him during that start.
Oh, it did. He gave up 2 runs in that first inning without giving up a hit.
Springer to right field. Leadoff home run. There's the payback. 9th leadoff home run of the year. And his 24th of the season as a leadoff hitter, setting a new Astros record.
Remember me? Is what George just said.
Wow.
Super George getting it done. It's got to be worth a couple 100,000 votes right there, answering back on Jesse Hahn after getting hit just 6 days ago. But a fastball, he stays on it. Granted, some other ballparks, it's going to be a leadoff double, but still, George Springer strong enough to shoot that out the other way. Good start.
Now a strike to Josh Reddick. Springer in back-to-back at-bats with a home run. Now has more leadoff home runs than anybody in baseball, and also as a leadoff hitter, setting an Astros record. Craig Biggio had 23 once as a leadoff hitter. And Springer breaking that mark. Josh Reddick trying to go back-to-back, and he does! Just foul.
Buzzkill.
Just foul.
Man. Oh, you got to be kidding me. How that's pretty close.
Jesse.
Well, the way that Josh Reddick came out of the box, I thought it looked like he knew it was going to be a home run.
Jesse Hahn's allowed 4 home runs all year. 3 of them in the last 2 innings to the Astros.
How about that? That's unbelievable.
And almost a 4th. Reddick as close as you possibly can come to hitting a home run.
Yeah, I didn't realize how unbelievably close that was.
And now Hahn recovers with a strikeout. This is, I mean,
it's a great camera angle. It's a great shot, but that's just a breath away from being a back-to-back home run.
That is the absolute closest foul ball I think I've ever seen to being a home run.
Barely slide a sheet of paper in between there.
I was thinking the same thing. Reddick frustrated after the strikeout. And now Altuve the other way, and that's going to be a base hit. Matt Olson will track it down, but not before Altuve has himself a double. So a home run, a near home run by the smallest of margins, and now a double.
These guys aren't going to let us catch our breath. George Springer's home run traveled 342 feet. It was 103.3 miles an hour off the bat, and you see Altuve inside outing it. It's almost as if he didn't know where that ball was, but we knew it was going to be a hit once it hits the barrel of Altuve. No, Jed, seriously, I've been getting hits 200 a year for the last 3 years. It's unbelievable. Let me tell you about it.
He's got a 7-game hitting streak now up to 96 hits. He's got 4 already in this series, and we're only 10 innings into it.
And the best part about it is he's doing it at home.
And that has been an issue for Jose all season long. But it's 4 for 6 so far in this series. Astros with a couple of extra base hits against Jesse Hahn. Pitch gets away, but Altuve, that's a tough one to read, isn't it, Plummer?
No, it completely is, and that's what happened. You don't have the angle. You're basically standing directly in front. You can't tell how far behind the catcher that gets. And for Altuve, he knows that it gets away, but he just can't clarify if it got far enough away for him to advance. But a good choice staying at second base and scoring position.
That's one, too, where if Correa feels like it's far enough away, he can wave the runner on.
True.
And he elected to not wave Altuve, so he didn't feel like it was a pitch he could advance on. It's now 3-0. Jesse Hahn allowed an opposite field home run. Springer with back-to-back opposite field home runs. If Correa had the green light, he elected to look at that pitch. It's 3-1. I assume he did.
Yeah, I think AJ, and we've heard him talk about it, he even mentioned it last night, that he's going to give these guys the green light. They're good enough hitters to know when to attack in the zone. It was unfortunate last night that Gaddis rolled into that double play.
Deep in the hole, Beretta's throw not in time. Correa with an infield hit. Altuve had to hold up at second base.
Smart base running by Altuve. We've seen Barreto get tested in that 5.5 hole, but we really haven't seen that arm that you'd like to see from a shortstop. But again, we can't emphasize enough how spoiled we are to be able to sit in the booth we sit in and follow these guys around throughout the course of the season. And we've seen that guy's arm right there throughout the course of the season. That's a tough bar to compare it to.
Correa, just a year older than Barreto, believe it or not. Franklin playing in his 4th major league game tonight. First and second, 1 out. And here's Brian McCann. You know, there's talk about Barreto maybe possibly being a second baseman down the road or even an outfielder, but the arm strength definitely a challenge right now from that deep 5.5 hole, as you said, the deep shortstop hole. 0-1 the count to Brian McCann. And Hahn ahead 0-2.
Tough go for McCann with 2 strikes. Low average, low slugging. I'd like to see him get a mistake right here and get a hold of one.
There go the runners. Breaking ball, chop foul. On when he gets ahead 0-2 or 1-2 on lefties will be about 50-50 with a fastball or curveball. Normally he's heavy on the fastball.
Well, as much as you can use that as a hitter, base runners who can steal bases obviously can use that to their advantage also. Off-speed pitches are a little bit better to run on because they take longer to get to home plate. They're tougher to handle for some of these catchers.
So now with that thought in mind, does he challenge him with a fastball again? After throwing the curveball 0-2, the runners hold. He does go back to the fastball and misses, and now it's 1-2. The cat and mouse game can continue. Now does AJ think he might throw a curveball and send the runners again?
Well, we've talked a lot this season about the Astros being able to pick signs from second base. Altuve can use that to his advantage to steal a bag.
They hold. It is a breaking ball. It's grounded towards the hole in the right field. Base hit. Altuve around third. Olsen's throw. Not in time. 2-0 Houston.
that's really the first time we haven't seen that massive shift played on Brian McCann. A good job taking that ground ball, that breaking ball and grounding it through the right side. But in the past against other teams, we've really seen that second baseman playing where both Jed Lowry and Alonso whiffed. Altuve beating the throw from Olsen easily. Did you notice how he didn't look at Gary Pettis? He was going no matter what.
Is that right?
He might have picked him up early, but Gary was waving him. But Altuve pretty much, it looked like, read that on his own.
Gary Pettis and Altuve agreed, but maybe Jose wasn't aware of it as he was heading home.
Well, I think Altuve is a smart enough ball player with his ability, recognizing that ball wasn't ripped into right field, that he'd have plenty of time to score.
Here's Carlos Beltran, had a couple of days off. Monday was the scheduled off day for everybody. Did not play in last night's game as he takes a strike, 0-1. Fouled out of play. Beltran down on the count, 0-2. By the way, speaking of Altuve and his speed, I want to amend something I said last night with Marisnick being clocked as the fastest in StatCast. I saw the updated numbers, and Jose is just barely faster than Jake Marisnick. Jake and Carlos Correa basically in a dead heat for second fastest on the team, with Altuve slightly faster. That's on the bases, StatCast sprint speed. And we saw Jose sprinting home from second to score that second run.
So one guy is a legitimate 6'4", 6'5". The other one's a 5'6", 5'7", and can fly just as fast. So kind of an interesting dynamic, seeing how fast these guys are, yet they're completely different body types.
The other advantage Altuve has, even over guys that are ranked faster than him, is he's such a smart base runner.
Absolutely.
There are plenty of people who are wondering what's going on inside who have not yet made their way into Minute Maid Park. Well, so far they've missed a couple of runs.
It's a night of the Dragon here. A lot of people showing up to watch a good team, but also trying to get a hold of that Chris Davinsky bobblehead they're handing out.
The only out of this game for Jesse Hahn was after he almost allowed a massive home run. Look, that is the best bobblehead I think I've ever seen.
You almost set me up.
I did. I cut myself up.
But that is a beautiful bobblehead. We had that in the booth last homestand. It was pretty impressive.
I mean, that is a massive bobblehead, and those Game of Thrones tickets, the special ticket package, went in a hurry. 1-2 pitch popped in the air. It's not going to be deep enough to score. Correa from third as Lowry makes the play, and Beltran is the second out of the inning. People, we saw Wednesday night, Plummer, last homestand.
Oh, don't forget about that, yeah.
37,000.
Dollar dog night. Get you some.
So these people are not only missing the Astros scoring runs, they're missing their opportunity to load up on dollar dogs right now. It's become a very popular night. Last night on a Tuesday, we had 28,312. I'm going to guess that'll bump up a little bit tonight. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. He's riding a 6-game hitting streak, just like Jose Altuve was to start the game. You know, after our Twitter Tuesday show last night, which was based on the All-Star team and who could make it from the Astros, kind of put together my own little roster today. I think Marwin's got a shot. I think he's got it.
That would be great.
I think he's going to be at least in the conversation for one of the final roster spots.
He's an asset for this team, but he's also an asset for the All-Star game because he can come in relief of anybody on that diamond.
Guy who can play anywhere and can switch hit.
Well, I was saying he's putting together some pretty good offensive numbers, help your ball club win too.
been a lengthy inning for Jesse Hahn. He's down in the count 3-0 to Marwin Gonzalez.
Well, Marwin hit the second 3-run home run in the second inning against Jesse Hahn last time out.
3-0 green light, deep to right field. Olsen back. He's going to have it play and makes it on the track. Marwin just off the end of the bat, bidding for his second 3-run home run in as many starts against Hahn. But George Springer got things going for the Astros with home run number 24 on the year.
Astros out in front, and it is time for today's Chevy Stroh Bowl. That guy couldn't decide how he wanted to pose in the throne. That was priceless. Which family will end up ruling the 7 kingdoms? This is for Game of Thrones night. Is it House Stark, House Lannister, or House Targaryen? I've never seen the show. I'm trying to act like I know what I'm talking about. They've seen it. They've seen it out there. Union Station lobby, I think, is where the throne is.
That thing is no joke.
No, that's impressive too. The giveaway, the bobblehead, the Chris Davinsky bobblehead Game of Thrones dragon, very impressive. That throne is serious. But Julie, you're not going to get a ton of help from Blummer and myself.
No, that is true.
I will say this though: the people that are into that show, it's not like you're kind of into it.
Yeah.
You're into that show.
You're deep.
There's a couple of players in this Astros dugout who are into it, really into it. They taught me a little bit.
They gave you the lowdown?
Yeah, they highly recommended it too, so maybe this offseason.
I've heard really good things about it, but I've also heard that you better have a very strong stomach.
Who are the Game of Thrones dedicated viewers in that Astros clubhouse? 1-2 pitches up and in.
Carlos Correa.
Really?
Would be one. Jose Altuve.
They might be talking about it right now.
They probably are. Carlos Correa has seen it all the way through twice.
Is that Rapunzel? My bad.
2-2 pitch. And that ball is hammered to left field. It is hooking, and it is fair home run. Chris Davis just crushed a 2-2 pitch for his 20th home run of the season. And that cuts the lead in half. It's now 2-1.
That is what you call a hanging slider. Not going to get away with it to Chris Davis. Opens up that front side, and he recognized very quickly that that was not a good slider and hammered it.
Onto the train tracks down the left field line. 62nd home run since the start of the 2016 season. That's the most for anybody in Major League Baseball. Now fastball and a swing and a miss. It's the 5th home run allowed by Paulino this year, and the first that's come against a pitch other than his fastball. One and one to count.
So in those 5 home runs that he's given up, 4 of those have been to right-handed hitters, only 1 to lefties.
There's a strike. Alonso having a monster season for the Oakland A's. Sends one into the air deep to right field, but playable. Josh Reddick ambles over and makes the play for out number 1. Paulino making his 6th start of the year. This will be his 3rd at Minute Maid Park. And back-to-back starts against the Oakland Athletics. Ryan Healy, first career grand slam, was the big blow last night. He snapped a 1-1 tie with that slam against James Hoyt in the 6th inning. Kurtz ruling the 7 Kingdoms.
So tonight, when the Astros win and they decide who gets the belt, does the guy who gets the belt get the throne? Might as well go all in.
Why not?
Yeah.
I think that would be a nice presentation.
Have your post-game presser from the throne.
That throne does not look like it's easy to move. But if they can move it to the clubhouse, absolutely.
They need a body of armor just to move that thing.
Well, Julie mentioned the middle of the infield, the potential all-star starting second baseman and shortstop are into it. There are a couple of guys on the flights in the past few years with the Tampa Bay Rays when I worked with them that they would be excited when they're getting home at a certain time on Sunday. Swing and a miss. Healy goes down swinging. So there are a lot of very dedicated fans of that show.
I have a feeling people who don't have 4 kids have the opportunity to watch those TV shows. But I should take advantage of those road trips. It was a good slider from Paulino after he gave up the cement mixer home run to Chris Davis. Came back to a right-hander with that same pitch and threw a very good one for the punch-out.
Yeah, that's good to see. And this is a work in progress. David Paulino, as he pours a fastball over for a strike, is just getting his feet wet at this level.
Yeah, absolutely. And you hear it a lot in baseball, not the game of thrones, but a game of adjustments for these guys, and that's what you want to see. You want to see it, be able to see if he has the mentality to make that adjustment, execute the pitch after giving up a bomb.
A little changeup that rides away. That's been a better pitch for him this year.
Well, he needs something to equalize against lefties. That slider and curveball obviously break back into a left-hander, but if you can have something that fades away and you change the pace on it a little bit, it's pretty effective.
There was a good curveball for a strike.
You just saw slow down and away, and now you see slow breaking back over the plate. And you can see Maxwell maybe overthought that one a little bit. A good pitch.
You know, that curve's normally 75, 76. The slider's more 82-ish, 83. That was kind of in between that last pitch, and it was very effective. But he has thrown some good secondary pitches after allowing that home run. That's what you want to see. You don't want to see a guy make a mistake, and Chris Davis is as good as anybody in baseball at taking care of a mistake. You don't want to see a guy make a mistake and then shy away from that pitch.
And that's where I think Brian McCann can step in as the veteran and really have these guys commit and put that sign down there and implore these guys to throw that slider.
Maxwell fouls one away. He's been Bruce Maxwell has been very impressive in his short time here against the Houston Astros this year. 3-hit game on Thursday, 3-hit game last night. Getting a chance to play on a regular basis here. Coming in with a .378 batting average, 6 for 8 against Houston. And he's staying alive. Spoiling some pretty good pitches from Paulino.
No, he's had very good ABs that we've seen. See him rocking the quarterback wristband on his left arm.
Good breaking ball. Called third strike. Paulino breaks off a beauty to end the second.
The Athletics and our league leaders are going to be presented by Houston Methodist. The Astros are very good at hitting home runs and slugging the baseball. This is a great number. Fewest strikeouts by an offense this season. The Astros only 532.
Ground ball and 2 hops to Healy, and Gurriel's retired on 1 pitch. Those don't usually go hand in hand.
No, it's astonishing to see that. They're slugging .481 as a team, yet they have the fewest punch-outs of any team. That's not a normal mix.
It's not, and especially in this day where strikeouts are so prevalent. For the Astros to maintain that power and that slugging percentage and be so contact-oriented, it's remarkable. You don't see that combination, not only in this season, but any season where a team leads in both of those categories. Fewer strikeouts and highest slugging percentage as Aoki takes a strike. Aoki's one of those guys who makes a lot of contact, and that seemed to be the theme. All their acquisitions this offseason were guys who put the ball in play.
And it was very interesting to me, having sat in this seat for the last 5 years. Obviously, 13 and 14 are a wash. 15, they started to get really good, made the playoffs, and then 16, they had a great year. But we always heard the argument, well, they're driving the ball out of the ballpark, so we'll justify the strikeouts because of that. And then this offseason, they really made it a fundamental issue to go out there and not strike out, and it's worked. So I love the fact that they're making the adjustment to their analytics and the trends and things like that to go out and get some guys that'll put the ball in play.
Aoki puts one in play and a single into right field in front of Matt Olson.
Because it's great if you drive the ball out of the ballpark, but what I think is great is that the Astros are now doing it 2-run home runs, 3-run home runs. You're getting guys on base to drive in with the home run.
Good swing there by Aoki. 1-out base hit. Well, the one thing that resonates from a spring training interview when we had Jeff Luhnow in the booth, that it's hard to get away when you see get away from when you see that stat is he keeps talking about the importance of swing and miss ability as a pitcher, and also they pay attention to it on the offensive side too. And they don't have a lot of swing and miss ability like they used to. There's still some guys that'll strike out occasionally, but as you saw in that graphic, the fewest in baseball.
And it was really that bottom portion of the strike zone for me that had those guys punching out, because we saw a lot of times it'd be that 4 or 5 hole right after Carlos Correa, or maybe a George Springer who's moved down in the lineup a little bit last year, is that pitchers didn't panic once they got in that 6, 7, 8, 9 hole. They would just go ahead, mow through those guys, and almost punch them out 1, 2, 3 to get out of innings.
And what Jesse Hahn was looking for in this inning, and he still may end up getting it here in the second inning, but he was looking for a low pitch count coming off a 30-pitch first inning. He got Gurriel on the first pitch, 1 out, but then Aoki battled and picked up a single, and now he's a couple of pitches in and down the count to George Springer. And Springer rips one to left field. This ball is off the top of the wall. Aoki will be held at third, nobody covering second. Springer jogs in there with a double. George just missed his second home run in as many innings, and actually would have been his 3rd consecutive home run in 3 innings.
Talk about George being Superman on defense. He might be the Punisher in the box. That ball was scalded off the bat of George Springer. The only problem is he hit it at such a low trajectory that it didn't have an opportunity to get up out of here in that elevated wall out there in left center field.
Well, you have mentioned it before. There are a few places where this stadium will take home runs away, and that's one of them with that high fence. That's a home run in a lot of stadiums.
Yeah, that is a laser of a home run in some stadiums.
There's a strike to Josh Reddick. They have brought the infield in. This is how close Reddick came to a home run, Blummer.
Yeah, you can see it right up in there, that shadow against the foul pole. That gives you an idea of how close he actually was to having a fair ball. I might have challenged that if I'm AJ, just to see if the umpires get fooled by it.
Right. It actually hit. If it moved ever so slightly, he may have had an argument, but that was, at least for my money, the closest I've ever seen a home run that just went foul within millimeters. 1-1 the count. And a close pitch, but a ball. It's 2-1.
I think George Springer may have broken TrackMan and figures out how fast the ball's coming off the bat, because there have not been any readings that have popped up on any of the websites I'm looking at.
Saw the infield coming in here with 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. See if the Astros have the contact play on nonetheless. It's 3-1. Contact play as if the ball's on the ground. Runner will head home. In this case, if you do get a play where the runner's thrown out at the plate, you can replace that runner basically at third with Springer on the move as well.
And there is a sign. The communication will be verbally with the guy at third, but there is an actual sign to give to George Springer to make sure he knows that the contact play is on.
There's some contact deep to right field. Line drive caught by Olsen. Tagging and scoring easily is Aoki. Josh Reddick has hit the ball extremely hard a couple of times and now has a sac fly to show for it. And the Astros add to their lead. It's 3-1.
Now, it might be safe to say that Jesse Hahn has figured out how to throw the barrel finder at these Astros, as they are seeing the ball very nicely out of his hand. Another low trajectory off the bat, but a very well hit baseball. And Olsen's playing relatively deep out there in left field. That ball still almost hit hard enough to get over his head.
I'm going to think that's probably close to triple digits. If George didn't break the machine, we can try and figure that out. Here's Altuve. Pitches away for a ball. Altuve with a double and a run scored his last time up. They now with 96 hits on the season.
Got no reading yet on George Springer's line drive. Yet Josh Reddick just hit that line out to right field at 104 miles an hour off the bat.
Reddick has, that foul ball was probably over 100 miles an hour too, so he's had a couple of loud foul ball and outs tonight. doesn't have a hit to show for it, but he has squared up some pitches from Jesse Hahn. Now Jose Altuve looking for a 2-out RBI. Out of play. It's 1-2.
Racking up those hits, climbing up that leaderboard into the top 10, chasing down Jimmy Wynn next. From one toy cannon to another.
That's Bill Doran last night with that 3-hit game. There are a lot of people within his scope right now on that list of all-time hits leaders for the Houston Astros. Towards short, Barreto's going to have to hurry, and he mishandles the ground ball. Astros score a run, 4-1, as George Springer scores his 61st run of the year.
It's a do-or-die play at shortstop, especially with a guy like Altuve running. Be interesting to see how they score that. Would have taken a perfect play to get him, but Barreto being tested early on. Well, I tell you what, when you're Jose Altuve and you're climbing up hit lists and you're playing at home, that's a knock.
It would have taken a quick transfer and a strong throw.
Yes. Perfect play.
So with that in mind and giving Altuve the benefit of the doubt with his speed, he is credited with the base hit. That gives him an RBI.
Just what Jesse Hahn wanted to hear.
Well, Hahn has struggled mightily against this Astros lineup. 10 runs in 2 innings in his last start. And now 4 runs in the first 2 innings tonight. Here's Carlos Correa. Josh Smith has already started to throw in the Oakland bullpen. In only one other start this year, other than facing the Astros, has Hahn allowed 4 or more earned runs. And against the Miami Marlins at home on May 23rd. The other 2 times, the Astros 10 runs, 9 earned last Thursday afternoon, and tonight 4 runs so far. And with that last ruling of a base hit, they're all earned. Josh Smith, 29-year-old right-hander, beginning to loosen up. A's with bullpen action going in the 2nd inning tonight. This is going to be pitch number 50. Barreto gets another chance, this one more routine, and he retires Altuve on the fielder's choice. But a couple of runs, Astros lead 4-1. Thrones night here as we welcome in Brianna Carbonell. She's Senior Manager of Promotions and Events. It's a big night here, Game of Thrones.
It is. It is. The bobblehead has been a huge success for us, which has been great. And then we have the actual throne here, which fans, I think, have had a lot of fun with that picture op in the atrium. So we had a little parade, but it's been a fun night. I think people have been enjoying it. That mixed with dollar hot dogs. I mean, where else would you rather be on a Wednesday night, right?
Exactly.
The place is filling up.
I know.
Yeah.
Wednesdays, I mean, there's something to it. Those dollar dogs and throwing a Game of Thrones, and we got a good crowd.
Well, to your credit, you guys did a great job with designing that bobblehead. Obviously, it's unique in the sense that it has that dragon on it, but involved Chris Davinsky in the detail.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that. We do put a lot of effort into, focusing in on the details of bobblehead making. So
Would you say that's the most substantial bobblehead you've been involved with?
hands down. Hands down. And never did I think I would do a bobblehead of a dragon. But, there's a first time for everything. So here we are. And I think it's been a tremendous success, and fans have loved it.
Great play on the backhand by Marwin Gonzalez to rob Franklin Barado to start the third inning. That was a smash to the hot corner, Blummer.
Yeah, when you move around a lot, it's tough to read. You could see that ball kind of bending a little bit. A bit of a bended like Beckham coming down to third base, but a great play by Marwin sticking with it.
All right, so Marwin's got a chance to be an all-star, but he would have to be a write-in candidate. The guys that are doing well in the voting are right in the middle of the diamond, all three of them. Huh?
And I think George Springer is making his case tonight, right? Like the lead off the game with a home run, and then, he's been phenomenal. So, really want to encourage fans to get out there and vote. They have until tomorrow at 11 p.m. Astros.com/vote, where you can use your ballpark app. But, George, Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, all contenders of being starting positions. And, this will be the first time that we've had 3 starters elected via the fan vote. So, this team is electric, and we want the fans to get behind them. We want the guys to know that the fans are behind them. So get out there and vote.
And there's ways to abuse the privilege of voting. Can we encourage that by changing email addresses?
Yes, email addresses. Sign up for as many email addresses as you need.
You got to manipulate the system. It's okay.
We encourage voting
in any form. I appreciate that.
But these guys deserve it, and we're excited to see them down in Miami on the All-Star game. So. Got 24 hours here, just over 24 hours to make our final push.
The Astros fans have made a push because there were no starters after the first balloting, and now there's 3, and the guys in the middle of the diamond, Correa and Altuve, have a big lead. Not only that, but we're seeing a guy who has a big lead in the outfield coming in this weekend, and Aaron Judge in the voting. This is going to be a huge Yankees. Astros playing the way they are. What a weekend we have in store with Big and Bright Friday nights.
Yeah, it's fun. The Yankees coming into town should be exciting baseball for our fans. Fridays, again, we have our Big and Bright Friday nights. So really encourage fans to dress up in orange. The team will be wearing orange. And then, part of Big and Bright Friday nights is we have those pregame happy hours still out in the Budweiser Brew House. We have our Stro Zone section, which should be a fun one. We're doing a Game of Thrones theme on that T-shirt. Unfortunately, tickets are sold out for that, but again, a really cool fan section for fans to check out throughout the rest of the season, and then kind of cap it up with Friday night fireworks.
Are you seeing the Stro Zone selling out earlier and earlier? People need to get on this in a hurry. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Check it out. The T-shirt designs are always going to be amazing. So while those might not be released way ahead in advance, because we try and make sure that we're doing things that are relevant to what the team is doing, so we try and kind of minimize that time and give the fans some relevant designs.
But like you're saying, you're not going to get a bad T-shirt.
Exactly.
Every one that we've seen has been incredible. The designs have been great. They look awesome.
Our design team is phenomenal, and they've got really good creative ideas and ways to get behind our players with that fan section.
Back-to-back singles to center field as the A's now with a little one-out rally. Matt Joyce with a single after Jacob Brugman singled with 1 out. And then after that, it's just an MLB initiative that they have, and it's going to go all weekend, the Play Ball Weekend.
Yeah, so Play Ball Weekend is an MLB initiative, really encouraging the youth to get involved with the game of baseball. So we're supporting it this weekend with our Yankees series. We have a clinic that's happening out at our academy, our youth academy, and then we'll have different activities that fans or kids can get involved in. batting practice viewing, or kids take the field. We'll do a special cap exchange. So really just a way to encourage the youth to get involved with the game of baseball, which is something that we're always looking to do as an organization. We feel like it's pretty important to get the youth involved.
Well, I feel like the Astros as an organization have done a very good job, not only through play ball with Major League Baseball, but also the RBI program has been awesome to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a lot of really phenomenal youth programs, whether it's RBI, the Academy, our Future Astros program, our Astros Buddies program. So all ways that we're trying to engage the youth and get them, involved with the sport and with our organization.
Popped high in the air, foul. McCann gives it a look, but it is out of play. Brianna Carbonell with us in the booth talking about not only this weekend, but this is the final weekend going into the All-Star break. The Astros will have a road trip into Atlanta and Toronto. Then coming out of the All-Star break, it will be the Twins in town.
Yeah.
And speaking of the guys in the middle of the diamond, the
Yeah. So we have this kind of to complete the set for the Altuve and the Correa bobblehead. We have our Correa bobblehead on that Saturday. So 10,000 fans will get that bobblehead presented by Houston Methodist. So brought that into the booth so that we could show that and see how it connects with the Altuve bobblehead that was given out in April. So, they have this iconic kind of handshake that they always do at the end of the game. So that is their connection there, and so this is the Correa version of it that we'll be giving out on July 15th.
Fits perfect.
I mean, look at, we might know what we're doing around here.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And what a year it could be with them being the starters in the All-Star game.
Exactly. And that'll be coming right out of the All-Star break, so, I think it'll be a really nice fit for these two coming out of that weekend.
Curveball and a beauty by Paulino. Freezes Olsen. Second time he's been caught looking on the curveball. That was a big spot, first and second, one out.
Well, a couple of soft hits get the runners on base, but he bounces back, catching that upper outside edge. And Matt Olson's got to wonder, how much of this plate do I need to defend?
Before we let you go, Brianna, Disney Princess Day.
Yeah, so a couple of things for that Twins weekend. So there is the Baseball on Tap event that we have going on, which is that Friday, which is a cool little event. Like, fans can come out and they check out, we have 25 different beers that they can taste. So they get a passport, they can try up to 4 and then get a full beer pour. But we'll have 25 different beers that fans can try out. So it is a special event ticket package that you can purchase. And the first 500 will receive a pint glass. So a cool event. Again, it's before the game on the 14th of July, but fans can go to astros.com/baseball-on-tap or just the promotions page to check out the information there. And then we kind of round out the weekend with our Princesses Day, which I'm really excited about. And that is, again, a special ticket package, but it does come with a princess tiara and a princess wand.
Yeah, I think it's only fitting that you
I should put it on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the beauty here. So again, we'll have a few Disney princesses out for the ballpark, at the ballpark to check out that special event, which will be fun for kids.
There you go. There's the tiara.
There it is.
Very
so you
nice.
see it's got a nice little Houston Astros logo.
I like that.
Yeah, and then we have a wand to kind of complement it. So, encourage the young ones. We were talking about the kids getting involved, right? So, it's a perfect father-daughter kind of experience or whatever, good for the family. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun for fans to check out before the game on July 16th.
So Blummer and I have our scheduled off days well in advance, but next time let us know when Baseball on Tap is.
Okay.
Because we'll probably take that.
Yeah, I'm going to request that one off.
That sounds like a fun night.
It is. And this is the second year that we're doing it.
Aoki tries to make the play on the line, drive single by Lowry, and that scores a run. It's now 4-2.
So this is the second year, actually I think it's the third year, but this year we added a second event. So we will be doing 2 this year. So the first one is July 14th and then we'll do one later in September. But it was hugely popular last year, and I think it's just it's a cool way to enjoy the ballpark and try some new beers while you're at it. So encourage people to check that out for sure.
Well, Brianna, we appreciate it as always. Big Yankee series this weekend. Twins coming into town right out of the All-Star break, so a couple of back-to-back big weekends to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget to vote. We've got 3 great guys that deserve to be in the game, so we're going to continue to push hard for them. And hope to see them down there in Miami.
Great. Well, the tiara looks great on you.
Thank you. I might wear this around for the rest of the night. Don't be jealous, woman.
Chris Davis is the
I've got
batter.
4 daughters at home that might be.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Brianna, thank you very much. Chris Davis, the batter, he hit a home run against David Paulino his last time up as he hit one onto the train tracks down the left field line. Now he bats with 2 on in a 4-2 game and 2 outs. Paulino down in the count 1-0. Davis hit one 425 feet his first time up. One and one the count. 3 singles in this inning. Jacob Brugman to center field, Matt Joyce to center field. After a strikeout of Matt Olson, Jed Lowry with a single on a line drive to left. And now Paulino trying to get the dangerous Chris Davis. He hits one to left again. Okie looking up, and this ball is a rocket home run. 3-run shot. Davis with back-to-back home runs. And just like that, the A's have taken the lead 5-4.
Talked about Chris Davis being a guy who maximizes on mistakes. That was a mistake fastball. You could see Brian McCann really wanted to bury that one down and in. But you could see it leak back over that inner third. And with the way Chris Davis approaches the baseball by opening up that front side immediately, allows him to get to that inside pitch.
So a big 3-run home run there off the bat of Chris Davis with 2 outs, and now here's Yonder Alonso. Last time David Paulino matched up with Jesse Hahn, the final score was 12-9 last Thursday. Could be on our way to a similar type number the way these offenses are going early.
And it was some late inning offense from the Oakland A's on that Astros bullpen. If I remember correctly, it was Dion Diaz came in, proceeded to blow up, and forced A.J. Hinch to get into that bullpen and use Michael Feliz and Davinsky to finish that game off.
Last time he had a multi-home run game came on the 28th against the Astros. He has done his share of damage against Houston this year. 0-2 pitch fouled out of play.
Maybe the A's understood that they needed to bring the bats when the Astros faced Jesse Hahn.
See Paulino working up quite a lather in this inning as he is now at 53 pitches. He get 54 in the 3rd inning. Counts 1-2. Chris Davis with home runs 20 and 21 on the season, and has 4 of the 5 runs batted in for the A's. Paulino has thrown some good breaking balls. He's also hung a couple. Jed Lowry hit a bit of a hanger into left field for that line drive single. And then the fastball in on Chris Davis, his second at bat, went a long way. Not the distance, but the velocity. And he gets Alonso on the fastball. 6 strikeouts for Paulino, but it's 5-4-8. The third inning before the game, Alex Bregman was mic'd up.
Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. So no talking to me with the mic? No.
Appreciate it, guy. I don't want to hang out with Bregman. Yeah, we're done.
I'm about to leave. I'm about to take the mic off. I got no friends. I got no friends now that I got a mic on. List of my favorite people on the team. Like, you're second favorite, Jose. Second favorite person on the team. Everybody else first place. Can I take this off now?
The loneliest person in batting practice is a guy with a microphone.
Oh, yeah. It's a good way to get exposed.
I don't want to count to Brian McCann. Thanks to Alex for putting the microphone on for us, at least while he had it on. He wanted to talk to some people, had to take it off. There's a foul ball.
But did you notice how he announced that he had the microphone? Sometimes you got to kind of like real slyly you mix in there, start having some conversations, and then you get those guys start to talk a little bit, and they notice it, and they punch you right in the chest, and they're like, "Dude, you got to tell me before you come out here with that thing on."
Did you ever wear one?
I did.
Did you?
I did. Yeah, I was one of the more talkative. Shocking that I got this job, but I was one of the more talkative guys, and you know, they didn't want to go after the everyday type players like Alex was willing to do. So I usually ended up going out there and putting that microphone on and get some good conversations out of guys.
You mentioned it last at bat. I could understand with first and second with McCann, but they did not shift McCann that at bat either, and he put a base hit to right field.
Well, you know as well as I do, he pulls the ball a lot. You know, he really made emphasis in spring to go the other way because that shift had been played on him so much in the years past. But this A's team, for me, and I'm sure for you, I think is what you're trying to imply, is that they don't shift him as drastically as we've seen, and he's found a way to shoot it through there.
And when they do bring the shift, like they will against Carlos Beltran here, they'll keep that second baseman on the dirt of the infield. And a lot of times with McCann, we'll see that second baseman out shallow right.
No, you're right. Create a little more range by playing deeper. There's really no reason to be playing in on the dirt, because the only purpose he's there for is to get at least one out. So why not increase your odds by playing a little bit deeper?
Now line drive up the middle, base hit. Carlos Beltran and Brian McCann trying to bring the Astros right back after the A's put up a 4-spot in the top half of this inning. Former Yankees with back-to-back singles. This could be the end of the night for Jesse Hahn. A quick walk out to the mound by Bob Melvin, and he's asking for the baseball.
Yeah, he's seen enough of this.
The Astros knocked Jesse Hahn out after 2 innings for the second consecutive start. This time 2 innings plus 2 batters. hits in the game, nobody out in the third inning, trailing 5-4. But that's the end of the night for Jesse Hahn. And the A's go to the bullpen for the right-hander, 29-year-old Josh Smith.
Yeah, we've seen Josh Smith in this game already getting loose, and Bob Melvin did not want to see the Astros make the comeback against Jesse Hahn. Therefore, he is in, making his 18th appearance. That ERA close to 6. See, he's got 15 punch-outs in 23 innings, but he also has 11 walks. Josh Smith has a fastball, changeup, curveball, cutter, and a slider. Trying to figure out which one of those is going to work against these Astros who like to hit with runners on.
Yeah, he will throw a lot of pitches, especially for a guy working out of the bullpen. Pitched with the Cincinnati Reds the last 2 seasons, and he'll first face Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin hit a ball deep to right field on a 3-0 pitch. Resulted in an out, but it was close to his second 3-run home run against Jesse Hahn. This ball off the wall. This will tie the game and maybe gave the Astros the lead. No, does not give the Astros the lead as Beltran stays at third, but McCann scores. Marwin Gonzalez a double off the wall. And just like that, the Astros offense comes back to tie it.
Put some high expectations over there. I'm not sure where Carlos Beltran showed up on that speed chart by StatCast. But even with his ball bouncing away off that left field wall, didn't give him an opportunity to score. But good hitting by Marwin Gonzalez with runners in scoring position. Brian McCann coming in to score. Now you've got second and third.
Last time the Astros had second and third, it was 1 out, and they brought the infield in. This time they're electing the A's to keep the infield back with no outs and Yuli Gurriel to play. He'll take a called strike.
Now we got time for our forward spray chart. Yuli Gurriel up there, where his hits have gone against right-handed pitchers up the middle and to the pull side. Really like to think that him going up the middle with the fastball allows him to turn on some of the off-speed pitches.
With the infield back, this ground ball on the right side will score the run and get Gonzalez to third. Astros retake the lead. 4 batters in to the bottom half of the third inning at 6-5.
Yeah, Jesse Hahn wearing a couple more earned runs. But was it interesting to see Yuli Gurriel really try and force that ball up the middle? Really an emphasis with that downward swing, trying to hit that ground ball up the middle to get that run in. Very nice at bat. Won't get credit for the hit, but he'll get high fives and an RBI.
And he'll also cause the infield to come in with that ground ball to the right side, moving Marwin Gonzalez to third. Orioles will bat with the infield close. Oki with a single in the right field his first time up. Astros with 10 hits and 6 runs. Pitch misses away. It's 1-0.
The reason you see that pulled in is there's only 1 runner at third base. They're trying to cut that runner off at home. With runners at second and third, nobody out, they didn't want to risk the big inning. If you pull the infield in, it's easier to sneak a baseball through there and score 2 runs.
Oki now with a 1-1 count. Tight, it's 2-1.
Tracer coming right at him. It's a good thing he had that Craig Biggio on his elbow.
Inside. Backs him off the plate again. It's now 3-1.
It's right around that fastball velocity at 91, but he does have that cutter.
Oki looking for a pitch here that he can drive at least deep enough to score the run with Gonzalez at third base and 1 out. Up the middle, off the pitcher, right to Barreto. What a break for the A's. 2 outs.
That stunk.
Aoki hit the ball hard enough they're checking on the pitcher now.
It's a great AB, taking that right back up the middle, and looked like he got off the left ankle of Josh Smith. But I tell you what, having that ricochet to the shortstop is going to take a little bit of the sting out of it. Anniversary 10 years ago, Craig Biggio turned into Mr. 3000. Trying to advance to second base, which Craig Biggio did a lot, but there's Willie Taveras out there in center field cutting him down. Big night. Hard to believe it's 10 years ago, right?
10 years ago tonight. Time does fly.
Man. There it is. Not only is the number retired, he was in the Hall of Fame.
10 years ago tonight, June 28, 2007. And 10 years later, he saw one of his records erased off the books by George Springer. With his home run, his first time up, Springer set the mark for most home runs by a leadoff hitter in the season, 24. George has homered and doubled to deep left field. Took a big swing there. It's 1-1. Batting for the third time in this third inning with the Astros leading 6-5.
We kind of got lost in all the commotion of Aoki hitting that ball off Josh Smith. Is a good read by Marwin Gonzalez holding his ground. You're taught to see the ball past the pitcher.
Yeah, if that ball goes anywhere else other than directly to a fielder, it's a run scored.
Easily.
But it literally bounced off the leg of Josh Smith right to the shortstop Barreto, and Marwin did have a very good read to not get cut off third. In the dirt. Curveball he likes to throw with 2 strikes was low to Springer.
Wow, it's been a good night for runners in scoring position, but on the season at home, 251 compared to 307 on the road with runners in scoring position for the Houston Astros. So that could help explain a lot of the issues they're having scoring runs at home, or why they're scoring two more runs per game on the road.
Coming into this homestand, 6.6 to 4.4 the differential. 6.6 runs per game on the road, 4.4 at home.
It's incredible. It's a big difference.
This is Georgia's specialty, though, the 2-out runner in scoring position situation.
Yep. 467 with 21 RBIs. Also has 4 bombs.
Down the line, fair ball, RBI for Springer. Astros lead 7-5. George with his second double. He has gone home run, double-double in 3 at-bats in 3 innings.
Making me hungry. The man should be an all-star. Continue to vote for him. But the Astros know what a joy it is to have this guy in their lineup. And again, he's hitting out the leadoff spot and putting up great numbers in RBI situations. Racking up the totals, trying to get it to that 100 runs scored, 100 RBIs on the season. Only other player to do that was Darren Erstead.
He is well on his way with 2 runs tonight. He has 61 runs scored, and with 2 RBIs tonight, he has 52 runs batted in.
Nice, very nice.
And Friday night is the halfway point of the season following that game with the Yankees. Tonight is game number 79.
So you just go ahead and double all of his numbers, and he's got almost 50 home runs and scoring 100 runs and driving in 100. Why not?
This has been a fun season to watch. George got out to that great start.
Yeah.
First few weeks of the season, nobody in baseball was hitting the ball as hard as Springer. Then he kind of had a small little lull there for a few weeks when Marwin caught fire. And now George is just putting up numbers that are hard to believe. There's a line drive off the bat of Reddick. Another run will score. Springer scores his 3rd run of the game. Reddick with his 2nd RBI. It's now 8-5.
Josh Reddick coming into this game hitting .327 in Minute Maid Park. Talked about how he is making a lot of friends in these stands by the way he plays the game. Kind of that blue-collar type guy. Doesn't do anything flashy, just goes out there and is consistent at going the other way, especially here at Minute Maid Park, I feel. Putting together some great at-bats. With a nice little 1-2 punch at the top of the lineup for A.J. Hinch.
Talk about a relentless lineup. Astros scored 2 in the first on 4 hits, 2 in the second on 3 hits, 4 in this inning.
And we talked about their resiliency a little bit in that open tonight. And I think this is why they are so resilient. You can't hold this lineup down for multiple nights in a row. Or at least we haven't seen it yet.
No, and even last night, down 5 going into the 9th inning.
True.
The go-ahead run was at the plate. A 3-run home run from Springer. Now Altuve and Correa with singles with nobody out. Now Altuve bats with 2 outs in the 3rd. Both teams have scored 4 runs this inning. The Astros led 4-1 after 2. A's came back with a 4 spot. And the Astros answer right back. It's hard not to get overly excited about this team because of what they're doing now, knowing their starting rotation is going to get healthier and healthier in the next few weeks.
It's amazing to think about, right? We get the potential of a Charlie Morton appearance. Mike Fiers is pitching better. Dallas Keuchel is mending. Lance McCullers just got back into the rotation.
Altuve taking all the way there. Literally bat on his shoulders. It's 2-1.
Auto take. I mean, I've heard of no panic, but that's taking it a little far for me.
Looks like he'll be ready on this pitch. They check Reddick on first. He's stolen 4 bases this year. Mentioned Springer's been hot. 15 home runs, 29 RBIs his last 29 games. It's not a bad run up to the All-Star game. Altuve takes that pitch low. It's 3-1. Well, Josh Smith has come in after allowing a double to Marwin Gonzalez. He got ground outs from Gurriel and Aoki. The Aoki ground out was a fortunate out for the A's as it went off the foot of Smith right to the shortstop Barreto. But then a double by Springer, a single by Reddick, and now he's 3-1 on Altuve. 3-2.
Like the swing.
That was the antithesis of the pitch he took on the 3rd pitch of the at-bat.
Exactly. He was unleashing the fury right there.
That's Springer-esque.
It was. A lot of angst against the baseball this evening for the Houston Astros.
They already have 12 hits playing in the 3rd inning. Up and in, ball 4. So this inning continues. It'll be the 9th batter of the inning as Carlos Correa will come to the dish.
Last night the Astros had 14 hits. They were just unable to capitalize. You saw that they were 4 for 8. Well, 5 for 9 now after that George Springer hit. With runners in scoring position, that's been the issue here at Minute Maid Park.
Correa batting for the 3rd time in the 3rd inning. First 4 hitters in the Astros lineup have already been to the plate 3 times tonight. Lays off and pitches a called strike, says Eric Cooper. Astros season high for hits this year is 19 with that remarkable game in Minnesota with an 11-run 8th inning. Tonight they have a dozen hits as we play in the 3rd.
else is interesting about the Astros is we talked about how they have struck out the least, yet they are slugging at .481 coming into this game. So that tells you when they make the choice to go after a pitch in the strike zone, they are going after it with malicious intent, which is good to see. So they're committing to the pitch, they're committing to the swing, and they're doing a great job of barreling it up.
The only time that Astros have struck out tonight was Josh Reddick in the first inning, and one of those strikes against him was one of the loudest swings of the night.
Yeah, that was a long strike.
Hit one down the right field line that missed by, I want to say, less than an inch. It was that close.
Say all the replays we've looked at show that it is extremely close.
There go the runners. The pitch is inside. The throw is not in time. Reddick a steal of third. Altuve trails into second.
Having played a lot of third base with big right-handed hitters up, the last thing I wanted to do was go cover third. There were times that you'd hold your ground like you see Ryan Healy right there because you're waiting for damage to come your way. So basically Josh Reddick stole that on the third baseman because he was unable to get there in time to cover.
Now 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. And a line drive single to right. Reddick scores. Altuve being waved around. The throw is in time, and Altuve tagged out. That's the way the inning ends. 9 men sent to the plate. The Astros score 5 and lead it 9-5.
As we move to the top of the 4th, an exciting day for the Astros, and Corbin Martin, who's with me now. Astros signing their 2nd-round pick, right-handed pitcher out of Texas A&M, but also a Cy Ranch High School grad, signing with your hometown team. I can't imagine what this day has been like for you, but just even the last month, getting to go to the College World Series, and then, of course, getting drafted by the Houston Astros. How overwhelming has this last few weeks been like?
Oh, it's been unreal. You know, as a kid, you grow up wanting to go to Omaha, and then you also dream of playing in the bigs. And for all that to happen in the last week or two, it's hard to talk. It's like hard to explain too, because you're so excited. But it's been unreal.
Corbin, you got a chance to step on a big league ball field and talk to some Major League Baseball players. What was that like?
It was really cool. I got to play here a couple of times in high school and college, but just to be able to go out there and know that I'm part of the organization is awesome.
For you, growing up playing baseball in the city of Houston, who are some players you looked up to?
The Killer Bees, Bagwell, Biggio, Berkman, those guys, you know, grew up watching them, and just to see how far the Astros have come since then, it's been a it's been a fun ride.
You've got the arm too. Any pitchers that you looked up to?
Oh yeah, you know, Roger Clemens back in the day, Andy Pettit, and nowadays like guys like Scherzer and Keuchel and stuff like that.
Well, you'll get a chance to meet some of them as you come through. Lastly, where is your professional career going to start?
I'm going to be leaving in the morning for West Palm training facility, and I'll know more from there where I go after that.
Well, congrats on everything and good luck.
Thank you.
Corbin, I'll send it back up to you.
All right, Julia, nice job. Good luck to Corbin. And does that sound familiar, Blummer? Starting your professional career in West Palm?
Yeah, did that long time ago. It's changed a little bit since I've been there.
This ball is hit deep to left center field. Marisnik is watching this one, and it is gone well up off the wall above the home run counter out there in left center field. Ryan Healy hits his 19th home run of the year and drives in his 50th run. It's now a 9-6 game.
That's danger zone for a slider. Seen it a couple times already. Chris Davis got him on one of those. Now Ryan Healy's got himself one. Ball was blasted
over the home run pump off the wall. So David Paulino left with a 1-run deficit, returned to the mound with a 4-run lead, and now it's a 3-run lead. This ball hit in the air to right, but Maxwell got under this one. And back to make the play is Josh Reddick for out number 1.
.6'2" pitcher out of Texas A&M. See, in 2017 he made 13 starts, 95 punch outs. Arms are good, especially those college ones. Usually they can speed up that clock a little bit going into the minor leagues.
He was a kid watching you and the rest of the Killer Bees, and now he's ready to start his professional career.
You gotta love a guy that had dreams of going to Omaha, completed the task, and then has dreams of getting to the big leagues. So he's driven.
Heard from Joe Perez yesterday. Now Corbin Martin today, 2 of the top 3 picks for the Astros this year.
I just can't imagine being drafted by a team you watched growing up. That would be incredible.
That was a cool moment for sure. Astros also taking the draft locally to the University of Houston this year. 0-2 pitch to Barreto. A little bit low and outside, 1-2. A.J. Hinch is not warming up the bullpen at this point. He wants this young right-hander to try and work through this. It's a 9-6 game. His offense is providing plenty of support. He's also got a game to manage tomorrow, and he'd like to see Paulino get back in this game and get him at least through 4, maybe 5, and see what happens.
And rumor has it that team coming in this weekend is pretty good.
Barreto stayed alive.
Like to refresh those arms out there in the bullpen in case you need them to close out some games.
Swing and a miss. The ball gets away off the backstop, and McCann has no chance to make the play. It went high up off the net. It's a strikeout and a wild pitch.
Just buried out in front of home plate. Not much McCann could do.
Jacob Brugman, number 9 hitter. Mentioned the Astros went locally at University of Houston. Corey Julks was the 8th round pick, a center fielder from the Houston Cougars. Perez and Martin 53 and 56 overall in the 2nd round. 2-0 the count. Well, AJ wanted to see Paulino work through this, but he may not give him an opportunity to, because it's now 2-0 in a 3-run game and a runner on base. So Michael Feliz begins to loosen up in the Astros bullpen. What you don't have right now in the Houston bullpen, and what you may have later on in the season, is that long man, that classic long man. There's guys that'll go multiple innings, Feliz for one, Hoyt for another, Davinsky for another, but you don't have that guy that can give you maybe 3 or 4 innings. And that's where, once this rotation gets healthier, you may see a guy currently in the rotation move to the bullpen.
No, I completely agree on that. You're right. They don't have that guy that can go out there and give you 3, 4 innings if you needed it, if somebody blew up a start. But there is an opportunity for one of these young guys, if they prove that they can pitch multiple innings here in the big leagues, that they could shift from that rotation into the bullpen and create a little bit of length if necessary, so you don't have to go to a Davinsky or a Michael Feliz early in ball games like we've seen here in the last couple of weeks.
And if fans at home are saying, well, wait a second, Todd, you've seen Chris Davinsky go 4 innings a couple of times, which is true. He has in extra inning games early in the season. But I think as the season has continued and the value of Chris Davinsky has grown, if you go 4 innings or 3 innings, then you lose him for a number of games. And as you mentioned, there's a pretty good team coming into town this weekend.
Yeah, we've heard AJ say if he pitches a guy for 3 innings in a game, he will give him 3 days off.
Devo becoming so valuable. Rather see him used for an inning, maybe 2, and 2 games out of 4 instead of just once in that same stretch. Paulino up to 74 pitches. Nothing has been easy tonight for David Paulino. He has worked with a 2-0 lead. He's worked with a 4-1 lead, and he's also worked with a 9-5 lead. He's allowed runs in each of the last 3 innings. He gets Brugman there. That is strikeout number 8 for Paulino.
Pitch down and away to put him away. Could have been the 3rd out in the inning. 2nd strikeout.
8 strikeouts matches his career high. Came in his first start against the Twins in Minnesota. That was that 17-6 game the Astros won. That night they had, or that afternoon they had 19 hits, a season high. Tonight they have 13 hits through 3 innings. Paulino has struck out 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, and now 2 in the fourth. One of those strikeouts still on base. Franklin Barreto reached on a wild pitch. Swing and a miss by Joyce, 1-1. Joyce 1 for 2 with a run scored. Three home runs in the game from the A's, accounting for 5 of their 6 runs. 2 from Chris Davis, 1 from Ryan Healy. Now Paulino ahead 1-2. To left, Aoki is back, has room, and makes the play. So a home run by Ryan Healy makes it a 9-6 Astros lead.
tonight at Minute Maid Park, where it's 9-6 Astros leading the A's. This is fun, right? Game of Thrones was the topic of our Chevy Stroh poll tonight. We asked you which family will end up ruling the 7 kingdoms, and House Targaryen is the winner with 45% hanging out in one of the thrones. So actually it's House Julia Morales that wins tonight in my throne.
Yeah, you look pretty comfortable.
This is awesome.
Is it?
I need a crown though.
Is it too heavy to bring into the clubhouse?
It's pretty big. It's pretty heavy. This fits me.
We had a tiara here earlier.
I know. I need to take this home with me.
And you need the tiara.
I can have breakfast in my throne.
Jeez.
Yo, I'm holding up the line. There are so many people that want to take a picture. It's incredible.
Give us the estimate. How many people are standing in line?
There's got to be 50 people standing in line, and it's been going all game.
Wow. And you're just sitting there.
Yeah, I just took way too much time from all these fans that have waited forever.
And there you go. The Game of Thrones throne. Nice work. Julia's going to relax there for a while and continue to make people wait as Brian McCann sends one to left. Pretty well hit. Joyce to the wall, and he makes the play. Every ball off the bat of the Astros seems to be bidding for a home run or extra bases. Daniel Kalum is the new pitcher.
Yeah, you just assume every ball off the bat is going out of his ballpark. Look at Kalum's numbers, 1-1 on the season. That whip is pretty good, right at 1. Fastball, curveball, slider from the left-hander.
So now Carlos Beltran will turn around and bat right-handed for the first time. Beltran's still looking for his first right-handed home run as an Astro this year. He hit his last 2 home runs last year with Texas as a lefty, and then his first 10 this year have been left-handed. And he sends one to left. Joyce is back towards the wall again, and he'll have a play. Some loud outs just in front of the Crawford boxes. A couple of outs from McCann and Beltran, 2 away. Marwin Gonzalez has hit a ball deep to right field and doubled, knocked in a run, and also scored a run. Pitch misses. It's 1-0. Coulombe, a 27-year-old lefty, began his career with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Used to throw a changeup when he was in the National League. Kind of ditched that with the A's last year and this year. Guy who finished up his collegiate career at Texas Tech. It's a good breaking ball for a strike. It's 2-1. Curveball comes in right around there at 79-80. The slider around 86.
I'd be severely disappointed if the Astros don't score. First 3 innings. First inning, 2 runs. Second inning, 2 runs. Third inning, 5 runs.
2 warning track fly balls this inning. There's a called strike. It's 2-2. Well, the bullpen has calmed down again. Michael Feliz no longer throwing. So at least for now, A.J. Hinch is going to give David Paulino a shot to get through 5 innings. He will be facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the A's lineup, which includes Chris Davis, due up third in the 5th. Davis already has 2 home runs and 4 RBIs in this game. And Coulombe comes down and settles things for the A's. The Astros with a long line waiting to take their picture on Game of Thrones night. Presented by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Come try the sweet or spicy barbecue bacon cheeseburger combo for $4.99 for a limited time only. (9-6) Astros. We head to the 5th inning. Daniel Paulino getting another shot to try and work through the 5th inning. He will face 2, 3, and 4 in this 3-run game. He has had success tonight against Matt Olson, getting him looking at a couple of strikeouts on the breaking ball. Starts him off with a fastball for ball 1. As the inning starts, though, Michael Feliz begins to warm up again. So the leash is probably pretty short at this point for Paulino. Making his 81st pitch of the night. Counts 1-1. That iron throne was pretty popular out there.
It's a big deal.
It is a huge deal. Julia only knew how big a deal that was. She was right in front of the line. Helps out when you've got
She definitely abused her privilege. There were some diehard fans out there grinding it out in that line, and she just said, "Give me a minute.
I got to do a little TV thing."
The heiress is going to take over," and she did.
Good. She looked very comfortable out there. 2-2 the count.
She did look a little excited to be sitting in the throne.
That throne was awesome. I do feel bad for the fans, though. I will say that.
You're getting like daggers. 2-2.
Oh, yeah. Like, who's that? How does she get to go to the front? No, I mean, they're missing the game by standing in that line. So I felt bad. That was really cool.
It looked pretty good.
It does
now
look
I need
pretty
to watch
impressive.
the show. Yeah, now I need to watch the show.
And you're going to see the throne and be like, "I've been there, done that."
Right.
3-2 pitch to Olsen is fouled back. You get the sense that Paulino, with every pitch, is teetering on staying in the game or coming out, because it has been a struggle. 1 run in the second, 4 runs in the third, 1 more run in the fourth, 3 home runs allowed. He probably needs to throw a strike here. Leadoff walk would not bode well for his chances to finish this inning. And this ball is hit deep to right field. That's the 4th home run hit by the A's tonight, and it's now 9-7. Matt Olson hits his 3rd home run, his first since hitting a multi-home run contest on Saturday in Chicago. And AJ tried to get his young starter through the 5th inning, but it's not going to work out, apparently, as AJ comes out to the mound. And he's had Michael Feliz warm. And he's going to grab the baseball.
It's like batting practice has been extended into the ball game between both teams.
A big man hitting the ball a long way.
performance for you, it's going to be Michael Phillies. Today is his birthday, and he gets to make an appearance in this game, and he hopes to continue the dominance that he's shown over the last 6 games. 7 2/3 innings pitched, no walks, 9 punch-outs, and then opponent batting average under $150. Michael Phillies has been a huge asset out of that bullpen for A.J. Hinch, bringing the fuel. He's got a 96.5-mile-an-hour consistent heater. Also has a changeup and a slider. But it's been fun to watch him go out there and develop as a great arm out of that bullpen.
Quite a group right there on the 28th of June. Mel Brooks, Pat Morita.
Karate Kid right there. Wax on, wax off.
First batter that Phillies will face is Jed Lowry, who fouls one back.
Well, then we can say that Michael Phillies' fastball is right around plaid. For my Mel Brooks reference.
Nice. There is Phillies with his numbers this year. They were still, I saw Mel Brooks last year.
You saw him?
Warming up.
He's 91 today.
Warming up the showing of Blazing Saddles.
You can still show that nowadays?
They showed that at a theater when I was living in Tampa, and he was the
That
setup
is awesome.
and warm up. Yeah, at age 90, he's still getting it done, still performing. 0-2 the count to Jed Lowry. Kind of gave us the behind the scenes info on that movie. Pitches upstairs. It's 1-2. Well, it was a tough night for David Paulino. He allows 4 home runs of the 7 hits and leaves with his team leading 9-7, but did not pitch deep enough in the game to earn the win. So now Phillies has a chance to earn a W on his birthday, and he starts out well with a strikeout on the foul tip of Jed Lowry. Phillies strikes out the first batter he sees.
Coming in with that jet fuel out of the right arm. Good location on that outside corner up.
You know, that jet fuel's picked up a notch since last year. You mentioned averaging around 96.5 with the fastball. Last year his average fastball was right around 95, so about a mile and a half per hour increase from last season. He's also picked up 3 miles an hour on the slider and almost 4 miles an hour on the changeup.
Man, it's pretty substantial.
And he's just 24 years old today. He's still figuring things out at the big league level, but it's been impressive to watch what he has done for the Astros in the last couple of seasons. Astros need to find a way to retire this guy, Chris Davis. Two and 1 the count.
Tell you what, this is where it would be fun to have a guy like that jersey in this booth right now. I talked to him about, I'm not sure if it ever happened at all, right? It had to if he pitched for 24, 25 years. You're facing a guy that's already hit 2 home runs in a game. How do you handle that? I'd be real curious to see what Nolan Ryan would say. I know what he might say, but you can't do that anymore. He was kind of in that era with the intimidation factor comes into play. He's not happy if you hit 1 home run off him in a game.
Right. It's a different era for sure. Back then, there's a 3-1 pitch that Davis tried to go yard for the 3rd straight time. It was 3-2. Well, nowadays, if you do style your home run a little bit, that'll draw the ire of the opposition. But as far as Davis hit the first one, and the second one was a line drive rocket, he did not take any extra time.
Yeah.
And ball 4. Well, Phillies was down in the count, was trying to make a good pitch to Davis, ends up losing him. So in this game in which the A's have scored in 4 of the 5 frames and the Astros have scored in 3 of the 4, Oakland has a runner on first base with 1 out. You get the sense that 9-7 is not quite a comfortable lead in this game.
Not the way these 2 teams are swinging it.
Off the end of the bat, Yonder Alonso fouls one.
Seen a couple of broken bat and soft hits, but for the most part, you really haven't seen any hitter in this game for both sides really not take an aggressive hack, much like the one you just saw from Yonder Alonso.
Leads ahead, 0-2.
Not trying to fool anybody with this one. That's just coming right at you.
The two starters in this game, Hahn for the Athletics lasted 2 innings plus 2 batters. Paulino for the Astros lasted 4 innings plus 1 batter. David Paulino disappointed after a successful start last time out against the A's. The Astros gave him a big lead to work with in that game, scoring 10 in the first 2 innings. This ball is hit pretty well to right field. Reddick on the move, still on the move, jumping, making the catch. Josh Reddick taking the hit away from Yonder Alonso, and retreating to first is Chris Davis.
Josh Reddick trying to earn his way into that rightful seat upon the throne with that play. It was a long way for him to go. A nice little timed leap at the end. That's about as much as you're going to see Josh Reddick dress anything up. The behind the back grab of the baseball out of the glove and then stand up on him looking to unleash the Cobra. Great play. I don't miss being that guy.
The guy who hits a rocket into right center field.
And you got nothing to show for it.
Alonso's like, why did we have to get rid of him last year?
Why do we keep him in divisions?
Right.
You got to see him 18 times.
Why does he have to rob me? I was a buddy of his. Here's Ryan Healy. And I did my little mock all-star teams today. I had Alonso on the team as a reserve at first if he doesn't win the vote, which right now he's in third. And I thought Chris Davis has a chance. And he's certainly making a play for that tonight.
The last 24-hour push.
Starters will be named on Sunday. And the Astros right now are hoping that they will have 3 starters for the first time in franchise history. Altuve's got pretty much an insurmountable lead at second. Correa pretty close to an insurmountable lead at short. George Springer, as you heard from Brianna earlier, could still use some votes, but has a pretty nice lead on the final outfield spot, but not quite as insurmountable as the guys on the infield. 1-2 the count on Ryan Healy. And he's fouled out of play. Twenty hits combined in this game. We're in the top half of the 5th inning. And 16 combined runs.
Plenty of game left. You see a lot of guys in the bullpen try and put on that camouflage uniform. Start hiding under benches.
It has been a day for the offense for sure on both sides. Just looking at the out-of-town scoreboard, it's cool because you can see all the scores at once. There was one high-scoring game, 8-4. The Nationals beat the Cubs today. Everything else, if you add up the 2 totals, is in single digits. This game has a combined 16 runs already. There's also an 8-2 game. Kansas City beat Detroit. So a 12-run total game, a 10-run total game in this one. Feliz gets Healy swinging. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Feliz. It's a 9-7 game.
got to warn you, if you are squeamish, please look away because the Astros have absolutely crushed Jesse Hahn. We are showing you the highlights from the last time he faced them out there in Oakland. You see it there on 6/22. 2 innings, he gave up 9 earned runs. Tonight, the Astros continue to go after the Hahn. 2 innings, 6 runs, unloading 15 hits. George Springer getting things started with that home run going the other way. So short outings back to back for Jesse Hahn.
Both times with David Paulino on the mound. Paulino was able to pick up a win in the last one. The Astros winning 12-9 after a furious comeback by the A's late in that game. Paulino will not get the win in this one. It's 9-7. Paulino out of the game. Yuli Gurriel against Daniel Coulombe swings and misses. It's 1-1. Coulombe retired the Astros 1-2-3 in the 4th. Astros had sent 9 men to the plate in the 3rd and 22 to the plate in the first 3 innings. That ball's into center field. Hit number 14 as the Astros continue to march towards their season high of 19 hits. 14 hits. Leadoff base runner in the 5th.
Big numbers. That is what you want to see if you're a hitter in the lineup. If you're sitting on that bench tonight, you're a little disgruntled because you knew you could have gotten in on the action, but everybody brought the whooping stick tonight.
Jake Marisnick is probably thinking, what do I have to do to get in there against Jesse Hahn? I went 3 for 4 with a home run last time.
Played himself out of the lineup, huh? My gosh.
And Norioki's done fine. Single. Also made a bid for a single as last time. It went off the leg of Josh Smith. That's towards the middle, but it's picked up by Barreto and could be 2 to turn in time on the double play from Lowry. The 2 outs and the bases cleared after the double play off the bat of Norioki.
Ball's hit hard just right at Barreto. Good turn by the veteran Jed Lowry.
Here's George Springer. Springer having himself a game through 3 innings. He had a home run and 2 doubles. 3 runs scored and 2 runs batted in.
Those are slugging percentage look after home run double.
George is having himself quite a month. Last 29 games, 28 runs batted in and 15 home runs. Also now up to 61 runs scored on the year.
If he hits another double, is it a triple double?
Nice. On a day where the NBA made a lot of news locally.
Some big moves.
CP3 coming to H-Town.
It's after we saw James Harden last night.
How about that? Chris Paul becoming a Houston Rocket for the 2017-18 season. 3-0 the count to George Springer. Springer with those 61 runs scored, now 62, is still in second. They're trying to gain on a guy who's going to be here over the weekend. Aaron Judge started the night with 68 runs scored, leading the American League. 3-0 pitch is a strike. Four of the next 5 hitters due up for the A's are left-hand hitters. And with that in mind, Tony Sipp is warming up in the Astros bullpen. Out tip 3-2. There is Sipp. Michael Feliz did well if he is leaving the game on his birthday. Struck out 2, faced 4 batters, allowed a walk, no hits. On the ground towards short, Barreto will make the play. Coulombe, after a leadoff hit, gets a double play and a ground out.
And now it's apparently it's going to be Devo's Dragon.
Devo's
Because he
Dragon.
is the Dragon.
Devo's nickname's the Dragon, so it was kind of perfect to do a Game of Thrones night and have one of the three dragons from Game of Thrones be on there with him.
Am I holding this thing? No, I've never seen this show. It's pretty cool, man. It's an honor. It's exciting. Never really thought I'd have a bobblehead of me and a dragon.
The coolest bobblehead I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Did you hear him say he's never seen the show?
Yeah.
I like how he flipped it. I've never seen the show, and then talked about how much of an honor it was.
But it is, and he loves that thing. I don't think he'd had one in his possession until today, because he kept trying to steal the one that we had to shoot video of. He kept trying to take it from us. But really cool for Devo. He's a blast to talk to though as well, and that Dragon nickname coming from Rodney Linares in AA. That's kind of stuck with him, and asked him the similarities between him and a dragon, and the first thing he said out of his mouth was, well, they're hot-headed. So it tells you a little bit about Chris Stavinsky, but he has that fire. We see it when he pitches, and we see it off the field too. He's just a real passionate guy that the teammates obviously love.
Yeah, hard not to love Chris Stavinsky. What a guy he is, and what a pitcher he has been for the Astros the last 2 years. So most guys did not know the Game of Thrones, or is kind of a split, Julia?
I think a split.
Yeah.
I found it really funny how Carlos Correa loved the show. And also in 2015, I think, is when he started watching it. He said he would stay up till 5 a.m. watching every episode, just trying to get through it, and then wake up, and the first thing he would do is watch another episode. It's unbelievable. And then he went on to win Rookie of the Year. So, without any sleep.
It's
good to be 21.
It's dedication.
He can stay focused. Carlos Correa, huge Game of Thrones fan, as we're finding out for Julia. 1-2 the count on Bruce Maxwell. New pitcher for the Astros is the left-hander Tony Sipp. And Maxwell goes around. Sipp with a strikeout to start the 6th inning.
It's good to see Astro pitching finally making the adjustment on Bruce Maxwell. Second punch out for Bruce in this game. Good little down and away slider from Tony Sipp, getting the chase.
Here's Franklin Barreto. Barreto grounded out and struck out. Barreto just 21 years of age, playing his 4th major league game. Makes the pitch a little bit higher outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Had a chance to meet his good buddy Jose Altuve. He had never met before this series. Got to hang out, fellow Venezuelans. It's a big day for him when you have a guy like Jose Altuve and gets to the big leagues, and second series in, you get to play against a guy you've admired in Jose Altuve, as it's now 1-2 on Barreto.
Fellow countryman, if I'm not mistaken, from Venezuela.
It was funny yesterday watching Barreto get deked by Correa on the ball. He wanted to get him to move off the second base, and Altuve said, see, don't trust anybody out here. Lesson to be learned. The middle infielders always trying to fool you. Ball's hit hard down the left field line, and it's a foul ball. These A's have been on a nice little run lately on the road. They swept the White Sox in Chicago. They won the first game here in Houston last night. A team that had really scuffled on the road prior to this road trip. Coming in, they were 9-25 on the road before winning these 4 games. And Sipp gets Barreto. Back-to-back strikeouts for Tony Sipp.
It's a tough AB for Barreto.
Astros pitching now has 12 strikeouts tonight. Michael Feliz matched his career high with 8 strikeouts in 4 innings plus a batter. Michael Feliz struck out a couple in the 5th, and now Tony Sipp 2 more strikeouts in the 6th. This is an A's team that will strike out. They have the 2nd most strikeouts in the American League, coming in with 719. And the Astros pitching staff leads in the most strikeouts category. Sounds like a good combination for Astros arms. Close. 2-1.
Ooh, good pitch.
I liked it.
I like that location down in the zone.
Pitcher's pitch. Jacob Brugman at the plate has a hit in 2 at bats, a run scored, an RBI. Tried to hold up, and he does. So he took a close pitch and now gets a check swing on a close call. It's 3-1.
Tony shouldn't be upset. He made a good pitch, just didn't get the call.
Line drive caught by the first baseman Gurriel, and Tony Sipp ends up with a 1-2-3 inning.
Own Derby competition in the official MLB.com Home Run Derby game. Download Home Run Derby for free today. Available in the App Store and Google Play.
Bottom half of the 6th inning, Astros lead 9-7. Josh Reddick leading off against the lefty Daniel Coulombe, and swings at a breaking ball and fouls one over the Astros dugout. Coulombe has faced the minimum through 2 innings. He went 1-2-3 in the 4th and got through the 5th with a double play after a leadoff hit by Gurriel. Coulombe trying to pitch more than 2 innings for the first time this season. Pitched 2 innings in his first outing of the year, and there's a line drive towards center field. There has been bullpen action warming as Reddick singles to center. Right-hander John Axford has been whirling.
Good batting. Good batting by Josh Reddick, going the other way, taking what's given to him. A bat flip for good measure.
Regg's had a nice night, just missed a home run his first AB, a sac fly, and now a couple of singles. Coulombe's night is over. We'll tell you about the new righty coming in out of the A's bullpen when we come back. Nolan Ryan talking a little baseball tonight as they are watching on with the Astros leading the A's 9-7, the bottom half of the 6th inning. Let's be able to eavesdrop on that conversation, huh?
Yeah, Nolan's probably talking baseball. Enos Cabell's talking golf. Now, a couple of ex-teammates, ex-Astros. Good stories always between those two.
New pitcher for the A's is 34-year-old right-hander John Axford.
Good look at his numbers on the season. That whip is not good at 1.75. A lot of hits against him. Still throws 95 miles an hour. Backs that up with a curveball and a cutter.
So he will face Jose Altuve with Josh Reddick on first base and nobody out. Astros with 15 hits in this game. Nobody out in the 6th inning. Altuve has 2 of those hits, as you might imagine. Also has stolen a base. He's been on base 3 times, also a walk. Now's the first pitch he sees. 0-1. Astros scoring 2 in the first, 2 in the second. Then after a 4-run top of the 3rd, the Astros scored 5 in the bottom half of that inning.
It's hard to believe Jose's faced somebody and hasn't gotten a hit off him.
Yeah, the list of pitchers that have seen him 7 ABs without a hit is not a long list. Saw Altuve earlier in this series last night against Sean Manaea. He had been 1 for 15 in his career against Manaea before back-to-back hits. A's going to the bullpen for the 3rd time. Josh Schmidt, Daniel Coulombe, 2 innings plus 1 batter. Now John Axford. 2-1. Axford is normally the strike thrower out of that bullpen. Highest percentage of strikes thrown, also the highest percentage of ground balls out of the Athletics bullpen. Behind Altuve, 3-1.
That being said, he doesn't look too comfortable out there on the mound. Might be because of some of the loud noises he's been hearing.
Damage somebody could do tonight on Dollar Dog Night with all these runs being scored.
Say, I hope you didn't challenge your buddy to eat a hot dog every time either team scores. It's going to be a long night.
But it would only cost you $16.
That's the good news.
Or every time the Astros had a hit, that would be $15 and 15 dogs. There goes the runner, pitches inside. That's ball 4. The throw went through anyhow, but Altuve draws his second consecutive walk. He's been on base all 4 times. Reddick is the second. Here's Carlos Correa. Couple of hits, also reached on a fielder's choice. Correa was the 9th batter of the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Singled to right field to score Reddick, but then Jose Altuve was thrown out at home plate by Matt Olson to end the inning. Ball 1. Correa with an RBI, Altuve with an RBI. 2 RBIs for Reddick, 2 RBIs for Springer. McCann, Marwin, and Yuli all with an RBI. Everybody in the lineup has at least 1 run batted in or 1 run scored. Beltran and Inoki don't have any runs batted in, but they've each scored a run. I mentioned in last night's game as Correa down 1 and 2 that the last Dollar Dog, the average intake was 1.4 hot dogs per fan. They have a chance to break that tonight.
Absolutely. It's a good thing nobody's friends with Joey Chestnut.
If he's watching, we've got a deal for you. Axford comes back and gets Correa after walking Altuve. That's a strikeout, just the 3rd strikeout for A's pitching.
It's an uncomfortable AB for Carlos Correa. Usually pretty good on the fastballs inside, but this one nicely located down and in. Oh, there's a couple left.
There's not a lot left. 4 per customer at a time. You can't just grab a tray and end up with 20 of them. Although if you keep going back, there's no limit, but just 4 at a time as McCann takes a pitch outside for a ball. It has become a popular night here. We saw the crowds in the 2nd inning still lined up outside Minute Maid Park. McCann has 2 hits tonight. He has scored a run and driven in a run. He's also fly deep to left field. And it's 2-0. John Axford started his career with the Milwaukee Brewers in 2009. Pitched with the Brewers all the way until 2013 when he was traded to the Cardinals. Appeared in the postseason with St. Louis that year, and also in 2011 with Milwaukee. Now back, it's 2-1.
It's been a while since we've seen some damage from the Astros. It'd be nice to see them get a hold of one right here. Expand that lead a little bit. There have been runs scored in every inning except for 2 for each team. A lot of numbers on that scoreboard.
Daniel Coulombe's about the only pitcher who will escape with a nice night. Although he is responsible for the runner on second base. Good breaking ball there to McCann. It's 2-2. But Reddick just took advantage of nobody covering third base on the throw back to the pitcher. How about that?
Some good baseball savvy and awareness by Josh Reddick. There's the called strike, and then Josh, he stole that on the catcher. He was waiting for him to throw it back to the pitcher, and as soon as he did, he took off.
That is a great move by Josh Reddick, and one of the many things he does well. Takes advantage of his old team by taking 90 feet on the throw back to the pitcher. Now the pitch is low. It's 3-2.
Just creating ways to gain that 90 feet.
Let's see if McCann can bring in Reddick here. 3-2 count.
Tell you what, if Healy gets too far off third base, steal home.
There goes Altuve. We'll do the 3-2 pitch all over again.
About to have all kinds of movement on the infield. Altuve's taken off in that 3-2 count. The shift is employed against Brian McCann, but you see on the right-hand side, the only guy that can cover second base is the shortstop, Barreto. But it looks like they're kind of bringing the infield in a little bit, maybe going to let Altuve take that bag, worry about cutting off that runner at home plate.
Altuve on the move again. Fly ball left field. Joyce is there. Reddick is tagging. Reddick's going to try and score. The throw by Joyce is not in time. Head first slide. Astros lead this game 10-7.
How important was that 90 feet now? Got himself into scoring position for Brian McCann by taking advantage of some lazy defense. But still, that was a moderately deep fly ball from Brian McCann, and Josh Reddick slide into your living room.
We're almost half of a season in to 2017. I always liked Josh Reddick as a player when he was with Oakland.
He drove me nuts.
Watching him do things day in and day out, you appreciate him so much more than when you just see him for a series at a time.
I couldn't agree more. And the reason he drove me nuts is you see Altuve take off and get the bag. The reason he drove me nuts is because he did things like that. He would just find ways to get the ball, put the ball in play, he'd make a big play on defense, he'd score a meaningful run. But it is nice to see him play on a daily basis and see how he can take advantage and use this game to his advantage.
He is a perfect piece to this 2017 Astros puzzle. Plays as hard as anybody in the game, does all the little things well. The Astros tonight with 4 stolen bases. They had a double steal earlier tonight as Altuve picks up his second steal. The double steal was with Altuve going to second and Reddick going to third. Josh also stole a base this inning to put himself in scoring position. And now it's 1-1 on Carlos Beltran. Beltran turning back around and hitting left-handed. Hit a deep fly ball right-handed his last time up. 1 for 2 left-handed tonight. And it's 1-2. 15 hits, 10 runs for the Astros. 7 hits, 7 runs for the A's. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Hundred and 88th career major league appearance for John Axford. All 488 have come out of the bullpen. Last time he started a game was in the Florida State League in 2008. Beltran tried to hold up, and he does. A pitch down low. It's 2-2. Altuve now up to 14 steals with 2 tonight. Bounces away. Altuve will head to third. Maxwell will retrieve the ball before Altuve thinks of taking 2 bases, and a wild pitch. Moves Jose 90 feet closer.
Not a good pitch. Maxwell doing everything he can.
So now it's 3-2. Been a busy night on the bases for Altuve. Scored a run. He's been thrown out trying to score another run. A couple of stolen bases. On the ground towards first. The bat is broken. Beltran is retired. But Houston tacks on another. Astros lead 10-7.
The Astros out in front of the A's, and the Children's Memorial Hermann Hospital was visited by the umpiring crew for this A's Astros series. The MLB umpires, they formed a nonprofit called Umps Care Charities, and in that they're trying to build They're trying to touch lives of at-risk youth, also children who are coping with serious illness. So visiting hospitals is a part of their plan, and that's exactly what they did today. They offered words of encouragement to the kids, and there was a Build-A-Bear stuffed animal where they could put their bears in little Astro uniforms, which has to be pretty cool. A very full day for these umps who are hard at work at night, but definitely a good one for them and doing a good deed for the kids in Houston who are dealing with some illnesses, guys.
Yeah, good stuff there, Julie. You don't often see the guys behind the mask or wearing the umpires' uniforms and what they do in their time away from the field. So hats off to this crew, Eric Cooper, Gary Cedarstrom, Gabe Morales, Adrian Johnson, for helping out to a good cause as Matt Joyce leads off against a new pitcher for the Astros. They have had a 5th inning relief appearance by Michael Feliz, a 6th inning relief appearance by Tony Sipp, and now it's Will Harris. On the ground, Gonzalez on the short hop, only man on the left side of the infield, retires Matt Joyce.
That was a good play, and I love that story that Julia just brought up, the umpires being able to go out there and give a little bit back. And how about them being appreciated in return from those kids? So often they're scrutinized on a daily basis. Not one of the more enviable jobs, but they still have the opportunity to go out there and do some good. And I'm not sure if you saw this, but there's actually a story in Pittsburgh. Umpire John Trumpain talked a woman off Roberto Clemente Bridge. It's on MLB.com right now. I haven't had a chance to read the story, but talk about stepping up in a big way.
Wow. Check that out. John Trumpain, nice work in Pittsburgh. But these guys, they have a travel schedule that is so difficult. And we get spoiled getting to travel with the team, going to all these cities. And even then, you're getting in sometimes 3, 4, 5 in the morning. These guys do night games, get up in the morning, commercial travel to the next city.
Yep.
And, you know,
they don't have a home base. They are traveling all year round.
Every game's a road game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And usually the attention they get is negative attention, so nice to see a positive story. Would say the guys in blue, but they don't really wear blue anymore. So the guys that wear the black shirts, the umpiring crews around Major League Baseball. Matt Olson with a 1-1 count. Takes a pitch upstairs. It's 2-1.
Well, you know how the players do the throwback uniforms? Wouldn't it be great if the home plate umpires were able to bring back the pillow?
Ooh.
That they would hold up in front of them behind the catchers?
Yeah, that would be pretty good. The old chest protectors that were outside of the uniforms, and a lot of these younger guys probably never worked with those.
Yeah, they have no idea what we're talking about.
2-2 the count to Olson. Kind of an interesting spot here for A.J. Hinch to bring in Will Harris. It's the top of the order. Even though it's the 7th inning, he knew this was a big inning.
Will Harris having a great year.
Just missed the corner there. And the count's run full.
Will Harris was an all-star last year. This year, a lot of Chris Davinsky talk about that possible all-star nod. But quietly, if you could say that, Will Harris continuing to put up great numbers. And another guy that doesn't complain about where you bring him in.
Gets Olson swinging. Another strikeout for Astros pitching. That's now 13. That is the current line for the Iron Throne. It's not getting any shorter.
They're going to have to stay open after hours.
I don't think that's going to end up in the clubhouse tonight, Plummer. I'm sorry.
Is there a shot clock on that thing? Speed it up.
We saw Matt Olson hit a big home run his last time. He's also struck out 3 times. And there's now 2 away, and Jed Lowry takes a called strike, 0-1. Well, I would say the 3 starters hopefully are going to be Springer, Correa, Altuve. I think Lance McCullers has a very good chance to be on that all-star staff. And then between a Davinsky, a Marwin Gonzalez, a Brian McCann, and this, and this guy Will Harris, you can't bring them all, but it wouldn't shock you if any of those guys made the team. They all, in their own right, have the numbers. And Will has really come on. Davinsky, the first month or so, was the lockdown guy who was on everybody's radar. But Will has been the guy who's been that steady presence all year long.
I agree.
Not like Devo's blown up, but he just hasn't been that killer dominating self he was that month of April. Has had just a couple of blips on the radar.
But the fact that you could put 7 or 8 guys just on the list is pretty impressive.
When you're 52 and 26, there's some guys having good seasons.
Absolutely. And we talk about it constantly about the fact that it's not that one guy. Obviously, George Springer's jumped out and put up some monster numbers. But it's been 1 through 9. It's been every guy in that bullpen. It's been the starters that have been able to mix in there. Those guys out of the bullpen, they have been keys to a lot of the success of the Houston Astros, especially here in recent, maybe the last month or so.
With the injuries to Keuchel, and even though it was a short stint, McCullers, Charlie Morton, that bullpen has been used extensively.
There's been a lot of creativity between Brent Strom and A.J. Hinch trying to figure out how to get these guys in enough rest, yet get them in games where they can win.
That ball's hit deep. That's going to be the 5th home run of the game for the Oakland A's. Jed Lowry unloads on a 2-2 pitch. And once again, we're back to a 2-run game. It's 10-8. Back and forth we go. The A's refuse to quit.
They might have gone to school on the AB before him and Matt Olson. That was the same pitch that Matt Olson punched out on, was that cut fastball we see so much from Will Harris. Lowry getting the head out on it.
Season high 5 home runs for the Athletics offense. It's been a lot of all or nothing tonight. They've punched out 13 times and hit 5 home runs. Here's Chris Davis with 2 of those 5 home runs. Takes a called strike. 23 combined hits, 18 combined runs. The last time Jesse Hahn and David Paulino matched up, the final score was 12-9. Called strike, 0-2. Oakland now with 113 home runs as a team this year. They hadn't hit 100 home runs before the All-Star break since 2002. No swing, 2-2. 113 currently puts them in the 5th spot in the American League. Astros leading the way, followed by Tampa Bay, the Yankees, and Texas, and then Oakland. Harris gets Davis swinging. 2 strikeouts in the inning, but another run scored by the A's. It's 10-8.
it's time to play Name That Astro. It's brought to you by your local Honda dealer. We give you 3 clues. You're going to tweet at Root Sports SW your best guess. Santo Domingo, Lou Cousin, and first plate appearance, Homer. Let's see if you can name that Astro. We'll tell you who it is later. Todd.
Santo Domingo, a Lou Cousin, first plate appearance, home run. Who am I?
It's a good company to be keeping.
At Root Sports SW, tweet your answers. On we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Never seen fans in front of us more hungry for our little 7th inning toss out.
Yeah, they were very patient waiting through this ball game, watching a lot of action. Yeah, they were chomping at the bit.
You sit up here at the club level below the broadcast booth. You know what we're talking about. 7th inning stretch. Peanuts and Cracker Jacks tossed out to the fans. All right, Plummer, I've got an attendance for you.
But do you have the number of dogs?
No, I don't.
So wait, hold on.
Don't announce it yet.
Wait.
Okay.
No, before you give me the number, I'm going to get out the calculator. So what's the attendance?
34,075 fans tonight.
34,075 times. How many hot dogs last time?
Last time was 1.4.
That equals 47,705 hot dogs if they keep up that pace.
Almost 50,000 hot dogs.
How about calling in that order?
I get an order of 50,000.
Is that for the month? No, that's for tonight.
For Wednesday. We'll reload on Thursday. Here's Marwin Gonzalez leading off.
Do we have any homestands that have 2 Wednesdays in it? That would be incredible.
I think well,
2 days of a homestand equal 100,000 hot dogs almost. Wow.
I gotta look it up.
You look it up.
Here's a foul. It stays 0-2. Oh boy. Yeah, we've had the first one in May there. Oh, no. There was a game. There was a weekend separating. It looks like the Arizona, Oakland, Washington in August. We'll have 2 Wednesdays, 16th and the 23rd of August.
All right.
So there you go.
It's a good way to load up for the winter.
High pop up on the infield. Yonder Alonso waits for it, puts it away. Yeah, that's a good month. If you are a Dollar Dog fan, August is your month because they have those back-to-back Wednesdays, and then the Astros go away for just a weekend series against the Angels and come back for the Rangers with another. So 4 of the 5 Wednesdays in August, the Astros are home.
Whoa.
That is the hot dog connoisseur's dream.
So there's the potential for 200,000 hot dogs in 1 month. On 4 days. Oh, that'll get you a Pepto contract.
Here's Yuli Gurriel. Astros probably wouldn't mind scoring another run or 2 in this game because every time they look up, the A's are tacking on another run. They have 4 single runs scored in 4 different innings. In the 4th spot, they scored in the 3rd. Yuli to right field. Olsen all the way back to the wall. Off the wall. Gurriel into second base. He has his 2nd consecutive hit. Hit number 16 for the Stros.
More power, too. Yuli trying to jump ship, going the other way. Saw his spray chart earlier against right-handed pitching. Here he does a good job of staying inside and going the other way. Almost enough to get it out of here. You see the rookie Matt Olson trying to play here at Minute Maid Park. Wall kind of came out and attacked him.
So Yuli with a 1-out double. Here's Nori Aoki. Astros have 5 doubles on the night. 2 by Springer, 1 by Altuve, 1 by Marwin, and now the Yuli Gurriel double. 5 doubles to go along with a home run by Springer. The A's have 5 home runs in this game. One and one to count to Aoki. Five home runs and 3 singles for the A's, 8 hits. Astros up to 16 hits, 19's their season high. They got their 19 hits in Minnesota on the final day of May in 9 innings of at-bats. They're hoping to only need 8 innings worth of at-bats tonight. Okie 1 for 3 tonight, hitting over 320 against the A's. Lines one to left, but not far from where Matt Joyce was positioned, and there's 2 outs. Hit hard, but out number 2. George Springer having himself quite a night.
Tell you what, the top 2 guys in the order have done a very good job of scoring runs. Between George Springer and Josh Reddick, they've scored 5 runs.
Between the top 3, they've been on base 9 times. Tuve's been on base all 4 times.
They must have heard about the bottom part of the order and getting some notifications yesterday about how much everybody appreciated them.
Springer now with 24 home runs. Hit one in the 9th inning of last night's game and hit one in the very first inning of this game. His 9th leadoff home run of the season. That is a new franchise mark, leading off a game.
That's a wrong way, John Axford. I understand that George is hitting .484 with guys in scoring position of 2 outs, but you got to go the other way.
Springer now up to 11 home runs in the month of June. That is the best in the American League. He didn't miss a home run by much in his second AB. Hit a double off the top of the left field wall over the A's bullpen. Now it's 3-0.
I actually think that was more of an attempt to hit it through the wall. The ball was roped.
Even though there's a lefty on deck, as hot as George Springer is right now, we'll see if Axford challenges him. Springer does have a career home run against Axford, his only hit in 6 at-bats. He does, and it's a strike. It's 3-1.
Just means he's got to tempt fate one more time.
Ball 4. Another base runner for the Astros. Springer on for the 4th time tonight, matching Jose Altuve.
A's are racing to get another arm up in that bullpen and get them hot. Because again, with 2 outs, the Astros threatening with a couple of base runners on. Can't imagine how these catchers feel in this game. Do they offer any input?
Day game tomorrow. You've got to think Brian McCann and Bruce Maxwell are going to have the day off. It's been a long contest. We're only in the bottom half of the 7th inning already. Almost 3 hours in. Josh Reddick hit the ball hard every time up tonight, even though he ended up with a strikeout his first at bat, just missed a home run. Since then, a sacrifice fly, a single, a run scored, another single and a run scored, a couple of RBIs and a couple of runs scored tonight for Josh. That run scored was literally stolen by Reddick against his former team as he took advantage. Bruce Maxwell throwing a return throw back to his pitcher. And Reddick took advantage by stealing third. There's a ball in the right center field. Another RBI for Reddick. Gurriel comes around to score. 11-8. Reddick with 3 runs batted in tonight.
That'll bring out the Woo Birds. Rightfully so. Josh Reddick did a great job of laying off that first pitch and gets on top of that one. Loops into that right center field gap. Bob Melvin wearing out a path to the mound.
We'll see another Oakland A's pitcher. This will be their 5th of the night, as we'll tell you about the new arm coming out of the bullpen when we come back. With runners on first and third and 2 outs. Reddick on first with his 3rd RBI of the night. And the new pitcher is 30-year-old right-hander Michael Brady out of Laguna Beach, California. He made his major league debut against the Astros on Tuesday. 8 days ago, he allowed 3 runs against the Astros in 4 innings of work. Guy who is a shortstop with the Cal Bears as a sophomore.
Guess who was playing third base when he was playing shortstop? Marcus Semien. Kid who's on the DL for the Oakland A's, played a lot of shortstop.
He was a great defensive shortstop, ended up turning into a pitcher. Mostly out of the bullpen early in his career. Started with Arkansas a couple years ago and Harrisburg last year. Originally out of the Marlins organization. And Michael Brady will face Jose Altuve, who's been on base all 4 times tonight. A double, a single, a couple of walks, 2 stolen bases, and a run scored. It's a full card tonight for Altuve, looking for more. Inside to Altuve, 1-0. Mostly fastball cutter to right-hand hitters who occasionally throw a curveball. Fastball cutter and changeup to left-hand hitters. transferred to a pitcher after he was drafted by the Marlins in 2010. First batter he faced in his major league career was Carlos Beltran, who hit a home run. Ball strike, 1-2.
Willing to bet that Brady got drafted by the same scout that drafted me with the Montreal Expos. There was that big shift in organizations with the Marlins and Expos kind of flipping organizations. My scout, John Hughes, who drafted me in 1994, has been working with the Marlins for a while now. And there you go. As Todd Callis just pointed out in the media guide, he was drafted by John Hughes.
Same guy that drafted you drafted this guy. There you go.
His nickname is Cheese. He was a pitching coach, John Hughes was, for the California Golden Bears before he became a scout. He loved to call the fastball cheese.
Altuve swings at a pitch up around his shoulders, and he's frustrated. Brady gets Altuve on strikes, but the Astros add one more. It's 11-8.
Presented by your local Honda dealer. These were your 3 clues. Santo Domingo Alou cousin. First plate appearance is a home run. It's Jose Sosa. That is your Astro. Don?
All right, Jose Sosa, tonight's Name That Astro. We head to the 8th inning. And the Astros will go back to their bullpen. Michael Feliz pitched the 5th, Tony Sipp the 6th, Will Harris the 7th. The new outfield alignment. Jake Marisnick checks into the game. George moves from center to right, and Josh moves from right to left. And the new pitcher is Luke Gregerson.
Keep it shuffle.
Yonder Alonso hit a ball deep into right field, run down by Josh Reddick his last time up, and he swings for that pitch from Gregerson, 0-1.
Julia was digging deep on that Name That Astro. Pitched in the big leagues for 2 seasons. He was a pitcher. First big league hit was a home run.
How about that? 1-1 the count to Alonso. Alonso, Ryan Healy, Bruce Maxwell due up. 11-8. There have been 14 half-inning frames in this game, and there have been runs scored in 10 of those 14 half innings. A's are 5 out of 7. The Astros are 5 out of 7. The Astros failed in the 4th and 5th thanks to Daniel Coulomb. The A's went down 1-2-3 in the 1st against David Paulino, and also failed to score in the 6th when Tony Sipp came in the game and had a 1-2-3 inning. if the Astros maintain this lead, because the starting pitcher did not go 5 innings, it's up to the official score to determine who was the most effective out of the bullpen. Because Will Harris gave up a run, it will probably not be his win. It could go Tony Sipp with a 1-2-3 inning, or Michael Feliz on his birthday. We'll see how Gregerson and whoever pitches the ninth fares. Alonso goes down in a heat as he hit that ball hard off his front leg.
It's not good. Can't even imagine how bad this hurts. Jermaine Dye was an Oakland A, and there was a season when he was with the Oakland A's. He fouled a ball similarly, and he broke his shin bone. It didn't break straight through. It was more of a hairline fracture, but he fractured his shin on a foul ball. And if he stays in this game, I'm going to be thoroughly shocked.
The way he went down, and he is in some obvious pain. You hate to see this ever. Alonso having a huge season for the A's. Possible all-star candidate. Second in the league in OPS.
There's nothing to protect the contact. It's not going to hit muscle. It's not going to hit anything but either a joint or a shin bone. And that thing is going to swell like crazy.
Just trying to put weight on it, just kind of test it.
Don't know why.
I think he's just trying to test it to see if he's okay. Rajay Davis is going to come and pitch hit for him.
And you can kind of see that Yonder Alonso said, I might be able to get in there and take a hack. And I think Bob Melvin said no, which I think is a very smart move.
Like you said, there's a chance it's going to swell up, so go take care of it as soon as possible. So Alonso leaves the game after fouling a pitch off his right knee area. Luke Gregerson will pitch to Rajay Davis with a count of 2-2. That's what Davis takes over.
It's not too often you face a left-handed hitter and a right-handed hitter in the same AB.
Threw the slider to get that last foul ball, and he throws the slider to get the strikeout.
That will be Yonder Alonso's strikeout. Anything positive goes for the guy who came in. Anything negative goes against the hitter that was taken out.
With that count.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a insult to injury there as Alonso on his way to the clubhouse, hobbling down, picks up a strikeout after he leaves the game. So Ryan Healy will be the batter. 1 out. On the ground towards third. Marwin's played a nice third base tonight. 2 outs. And there are different counts, and I'd have to look into the rule book to see when you take over certain counts, but with 2 strikes for sure, you're basically playing with a free at bat there if you're Rajay Davis.
Guess and half.
You don't know, it's not going to go on your record if you make it out there. A strikeout. Bruce Maxwell, the hitter. Off the plate, Gregerson will make the play. And Luke comes in with a 1-2-3 inning, a strikeout and a couple of ground outs. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Presented by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Places the Astros have been going is mostly home plate tonight. They have scored 11 runs. And they lead the Oakland A's 11-8 heading to the bottom half of the 8th inning.
What was all that complaining about them not scoring runs last night? They're more than making up for it now.
This will help the 4.4 runs per game at home average. Rajai Davis, who came on as a pinch hitter, stays in the game. He's in left field. Matt Joyce moves from left to right, and Matt Olson moves from right to first in place of Yonder Alonso, who left the game after fouling a ball off his right knee. Carlos Correa will get his 5th at-bat of the night. He is 2 for 4. Correa has driven in a run. He drove in the 9th run of the game for the Astros, making it 9-5 back in the 3rd inning. Astros need 2 hits this inning to match their season high for hits in a game. Popped high in the air. Maxwell and Olson. And it's Olson who makes a nice play. Just coming in from the outfield, putting on a first baseman's mitt, and making a catch in the Astros dugout.
Ball will find you. This isn't like Oakland Coliseum where you've got plenty of room to run it out. Nice play after just moving in from right field.
Nothing to it. Switch gloves, make a play. Here's Brian McCann. Well, this is what we were talking about earlier with McCann, who has a couple of hits tonight in between first and second, and then also in the shallow right field. Is with this shift, the A's keep everybody on the, basically on the dirt cutout. There's rarely,
you usually see that guy hanging around back there. Trying to get a better angle.
He doesn't worry about the shift here as he sends one to the outfield. Diving catch made by Brugman in center. Jacob Brugman robbing McCann of extra bases.
Good play by the young A. A lot of youth out there for Bob Melvin, giving them an opportunity. Brugman shows a little athleticism and ability to lay out. Also gives him a chance to get his first stat cast out of the way, I'm sure.
Carlos Beltran, the batter. He tried to match George Springer's diving catch from last night. Beltran 1 for 4, runs scored. 2-0 the count. Michael Brady, 30-year-old right-hander, making his major league debut 8 days ago.
First batter Brady faced was Beltran back in Oakland, and also the first home run he gave up.
Name Michael Brady, it's probably inevitable, but it's better to go with Michael than Mike Brady.
Don't want to shorten that. Get confused with somebody else.
In the air to left center field, well hit. All the way back is Davis, and he makes the catch deep in left center field. Beltran almost hit his second home run against Brady. 11-8.
Coca-Cola Value Nights for only $18 during select weekday games. This offer includes a ticket, only one hot dog, soda, and popcorn. Visit astros.com/Coke Value for tickets and more information. So after you've eaten your 1.4 hot dogs on Wednesday, get the Coca-Cola Value and come back and get another dog the next day.
Like it. Astros go back to their bullpen, going for their 5th pitcher of this game and 4th out of the pen in successive innings. It's Ken Giles.
Ken Giles, that 6th pitcher in this game for the Houston Astros, at 1-2 record. He's converted 17 of 19 save opportunities. The opponent batting average at 204. He will bring the fuel around 100 miles an hour and break off a slider when things are going good.
So 9th inning baseball. Neither team scored in the 8th. There's still been runs in all but 6 half frames tonight of the 16. The A's and Astros have played 11-8 game. Franklin Barreto fouls one back. It's 0-1. Barreto 0 for 3 tonight. He's 0 for 2 against David Paulino with a strikeout, and also Tony Sipp got him swinging. Reached on a strikeout wild pitch back in the 4th. Now Giles ahead of the count, 0-2. Third strike. Barreto strikes out for the 3rd time tonight.
A lot of numbers tonight, but we've got a player of the game, and it's brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. And of course, the future all-star, George Springer, 3 for 4. Leadoff home run. He's scored 3 runs. He's also got 2 RBIs. It has been a big night. 24 hours, the countdown until that all-star voting is confirmed. He should be that starting center fielder, and I'd have a smile on my face too.
16 strikeouts tonight by Astros pitching. Here's Jacob Brugman. Starters will be announced Sunday night after the voting closes tomorrow at 11 p.m. Central. It'll be revealed Sunday night, right around the time the Astros will be flying to Atlanta to get ready for a series against the Braves. So hopefully it's a happy flight for a number of different Astros who will be starting in that all-star game. Brugman 1 for 3, made a great catch to rob Brian McCann in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Mentioned earlier, when a reliever takes over a game and a starter does not go at least 5 innings, even if his team holds on to the lead, starter can't qualify for a win, so it becomes a scorer's discretion. And we have learned that if the Astros hold on to win this game, that on his 24th birthday, Michael Feliz will pick up the win.
Pitched a strong inning with a couple of punch outs in it.
Feliz so far on his birthday, when he turned 22, was called back up to the major leagues for the 2nd time in his career. When he turned 23, he pitched 2 shutout innings against the Angels. And tonight, turning 24, has a shutout inning and a chance to pick up a W.
It's a pretty solid round of birthdays.
He is named Feliz.
Well played.
Feliz Cumpleaños.
Slider is working tonight.
Don't forget, right after our game, it'll be the post-game show. These guys will bring you every single hit and highlight of this game. 25 hits, 19 runs. Kevin Eschenfelder, Mike Stanton with all the highlights. And George Springer continuing to shine in the month of June, heading hopefully for his first All-Star appearance. Fans on this Wednesday Dollar Dog Night, 34,075 strong. Many are standing, hoping for the final pitch of this game as Giles gets Joyce to slice one into the crowd.
Speaking of the last name Phillies, I played here with the Houston Astros, and we had Pedro Phillies on our team playing third base, but we called him Pete Happy. So now we have David Paulino. We can't really mess with the first name, but he's David Happy.
Or Mike Happy.
Mike Happy, I'm sorry. Michael Phillies is now Mike Happy. I apologize. Too busy thinking about the starting pitcher. That was ages ago.
Mike Happy could be a happy birthday. 1-1 the count. Well, this was not an easy contest, even though the Astros led 2-0, 4-1, and 9-5. The A's kept battling back, and they still have life here with 2 outs, but they're down 3. And now down to their final strike.
It's good to see Ken Giles pitching this way. We've seen some opportunities that he's had where he's pitched with a lot of guys on base, but here looking in command.
He has been very comfortable this season at Minute Maid Park. Little cue shot. Marwin Gonzalez will play it. Quick throw in time. Astros win. Ken Giles, a 1-2-3 ninth inning, picks up the save. And he will save it for the birthday boy, Michael Feliz. Giles picks up his 18th save of the season, and the Astros have defeated the A's for the 9th time in 11 tries this year, scoring 11 runs on 17 hits to win it 11-8. We'll have plenty more, including the post-game show right after this.